Thursday. Welcome to it. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby. Today we are together in the Odyssey Palace Studios. Tony Gwynn Jr. is idle, and he's getting ready, as are the rest of us, for the weekend series up in Los Angeles. Day off for the Padres today, which is a good thing, Skrabe, because I really wanted to open by breaking down the NBA schedule has been released. No, I don't want to get into that at all.
I don't either.
No, it's out, though. For anybody who's dying for the NBA schedule, they have set the schedule for the upcoming season. I did see that preseason NBA games begin on September 24th. They just gave the Oklahoma City Thunder the trophy like last week.
No joke.
And they're already ready for another season there. But
I'm not.
Yeah, no, they are. I said they're ready for another season. We're certainly not. Padres, yes, coming off a pretty much a demolition of the Gigantes. Outscored them 20-3 and blew them out in the finale yesterday. And then last night, Skrabe, one of the few times all year that I would set the DVR for a Dodger game.
Yeah.
But I thought, Padres are not playing, and if the Dodgers lose, then, we get first place all to ourselves. And I heard the Dodgers were ahead 5-2, and I thought, well, that's about 50-50, the way their bullpen is, that they'll hold on to this lead, and lo and behold, they did not. Look, I'm not really worried about the Dodgers right now. They are a mess, and they're a mess, especially in the bullpen, when they are trying to hold on to a one-run lead last night in the bottom of the 8th inning against a team they haven't beaten all season in a game that is going to, hopefully keep them tied for first place. And the pitcher that Dave Roberts goes to try and protect this lead is a guy they just called up from the minor leagues. This is the Dodgers we're talking about, right? Who have more money than any team in baseball history. And, you think that they have all-star relievers lined up one after another. Now, a whole bunch of them are hurt, and I'd imagine some of them are going to come back, but I think what I mean is that Dave Roberts doesn't trust anybody right now. Like, they brought up a kid from the minor leagues and said, here's a one-run lead. We got to win this game. And, he didn't hold on to the lead. Angels pulled it out. Taylor Ward, who had the eye of a lot of Padre fans, took Ohtani deep.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ohtani, 4 1/3 innings, 4 runs. He wasn't exactly dominant. So, look, the Angels go 6-0 against the Dodgers. And this is important to keep in mind because that's basically a bad team beating a good team 6 straight games. And the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people are, I think, overly concerned with the schedule, the remainder of the season. They're looking at it. Obviously, the Padres have the lead right now. There's 41 games. First of all, 41 games is actually 1/4 of the season. There is really a lot of baseball left.
When you put it like that, that's a lot.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it seems like we're almost there, but
we are.
But we're not. Right. We got a long way to go. And the schedule, the reason everyone's looking at the schedule is because Major League Baseball really did us all a disservice. And they did themselves a disservice by, having the Padre-Dodger season series end next Sunday, which means that after these two teams play here next Sunday, there will still be 31 games left and 5 weeks of baseball where these two teams won't see each other, and they will be fighting it out for the division title, and that's not the way it should be.
Well,
I hope Major League Baseball really gets this year and figures out a way to change this moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. And it should be, I know the schedule is really hard to put together, but
sure,
the last 2 weeks should be divisional games only.
I think they mostly are, although the Padres are finishing with the Brewers and the Diamondbacks.
They're going Mets, White Sox, Brewers, Diamondbacks.
Okay, so actually they're not. They got one division foe in the final 2 weeks,
and it's one that's not even
right. A team that's
contending.
Not in it. It's a lousy schedule. Baseball's explanation for it will be, well, we wanted to do this balance thing where everybody plays everybody. Well, you know what? Stop doing that. Not everybody needs to play everybody. I don't mind if I see the Yankees or Red Sox every 2 or 3 years. I don't need to see them every year. And at the expense, I like it, but at the expense of not getting to play the Dodgers and, whoever I need to play down the stretch. So we've been haranguing about that all year. I hope baseball gets the message. And every time we have a national baseball writer on the show, I bring it up because I want them to pass the message along.
You want them to write something.
Yeah, I want them to write something about how stupid it is. And I imagine we're not the only division where this is happening. I don't know for sure.
A complaint for everyone.
Right. Yankees and do the Yankees still play Toronto?
Let's see what the Yankees got.
Milwaukee and the Cubs are battling, the Phillies and the Mets. I mean, are all these teams going to be playing each other in September? Are we the only ones that kind of got hosed out of that?
All right, I'm going September. The Yankees finished with a bunch of American League teams, so that's nice.
That's a start.
In September, they have Astros, Blue Jays, Tigers, Red Sox, Twins, Orioles, White Sox, Orioles.
Well, all right. So there's no Red Sox and Blue Jays the last couple of weeks when those
Not
are
the
the
last
teams
2 weeks, but at least they're playing their division rivals in September.
I know the Cubs and the Brewers have a 5-game series coming up in Milwaukee, I believe it is, because they have rainouts early this season. So at least the Cubs will get a chance to close the gap on the Brewers. But again, that series is not at the end. It's coming up. All right, enough on that. But here's
enough haranguing.
Yeah, well, I can't do anything about it, right? This is the schedule. So I did some checking just because I want everybody to feel a little more relaxed about the remaining schedule. And here's what we came up with. Both the Padres and Dodgers have 41 games. First of all, they play 6 against each other. So you can take those 2 series out. That leaves for each team 11 series beyond that. For the Padres and Dodgers, 7 of those series are against the same teams. Play the exact same teams. Padres play the Reds. Dodgers play the Reds. Padres play the Orioles. Dodgers play the Orioles. And on, right? Giants, Rockies, Diamondbacks, they all play everybody. Both teams play Seattle. So those 7 series cancel out in my mind as well. So all that leaves is 4 series. And here's who the Padres play in those 4 series. Mets, Brewers, Twins, White Sox. And for the Dodgers, Phillies, Pirates, Giants, Diamondbacks. I would say slight edge to the Dodgers if you really want to break it down. But the bottom line, while the Padres are playing the Brewers, the Dodgers are playing the Phillies. And while the Dodgers are playing the Pirates, the Padres are playing the White Sox. So it's not a big difference. My point is there's 41 games left. Play better than them, and you win the division.
I mean,
Simple
it's truly. We say it all the time in football, but you control your own destiny now.
They do, and
they win.
Right, if they go 41-0, the Dodgers can't catch them. But I think that's probably a little bit too much to root for. They just have to win
one more game than the Dodgers the rest of the season.
They do, but here's the other thing, and I mentioned this yesterday because I do think it's a big deal. Right now, the Padres are a half game behind the Phillies, and the Phillies have the number 2 seed. Now, the Brewers at the moment are number 1 with a bullet. It's going to be hard to catch them. There's 6 games out there. Doesn't mean they can't be caught. Remember, the Brewers come here the final week of the season.
Yes.
For 3 games. So
those are huge.
If the Padres can creep a little closer, they can make those 3 games, really big games. But assuming you can't catch the Brewers, then you have to beat not only the Dodgers, but I hate to tell you, you have to beat the Phillies because you need the number 2 seed because that is what gets you a bye in the first round. If not, you're in the wild card thing anyway. So anyway, there's a lot to be done. Here's the best news of all. We're heading down the stretch with the captain of the second half.
Yes, Mr. Second Half.
What do they call him? Second half Shildt.
Second half Shildt.
Second half Shildt. And he is doing it again. It's a little early in the process. I get it. But you touched on this on your show last night. So I took it a step further today. And I went down and broke down exactly what Mike Shildt has done in the 4 full years that he's been a big league manager.
It's good. Everybody listen.
It's really good. 2019 with the Cardinals, they were 50-47. And then they finished 41-24. 2 years later in 2021, remember 2020 was a COVID short season, so that I didn't figure that one. 2021, still with the Cardinals, they were 55-56, but they finished 35-16.
That has to be the year that they won like 19 in a row.
Right. Okay. They ended up winning the division. And then his next full season was last year with the Padres. We know how that one went. He started 50-50, and he finished 43-19. If you add all that up, he's 17 games over 1 year, 19 the next year, 24 games over the next time, and so far 14-3 this time. That bodes well. It doesn't guarantee anything, of course, but it bodes well. Hopefully Mike Shildt has it figured out. And look, the addition of some key pieces at the trade deadline is obviously one of the reasons that he's, being more successful, but he's doing it and he's taking advantage of it and he's pushing all the right buttons.
I need to get Sam to ask him because someone asked me on my Instagram last night, if you want to follow me at Matt Skraby, if you want to follow Chris at Chris LOSD.
Yeah.
But someone asked me why does Shildt do this? Can someone ask him why he's so good at the second half? So maybe I'll enlist Sammy Levitt to do that.
By the way, I want to thank everybody out there who saw this tweet. 986. I need 14 people to like my tweet so I can get to the 1K.
I refuse.
You won't do it?
I think I already did.
I've only made 1K once in my life on a previous tweet. So
I didn't. Here we go.
Good. Thank you. I'm up to 987. Thank you, Skraby.
Dang, this thing did numbers.
Yeah, it's big. People seem to like it.
Man, better than my video I put up.
Okay. Anyway, we're underway. We got a lot to get done. Ben and I don't see eye to eye on something. And it's fine, but we brought it up on the roundtable today, and it was a huge discussion. So I want to touch on that when we come back. Ben actually said he was kind of upset about my angle on it, so much so that he wanted to call in.
Yes.
We'll see. He may have to call in this time. We'll talk about it when we come back. Also, don't go anywhere. Skraby and I, with the announcement about everything to do with tomorrow at Islands. You're going to want to come out and hang with us tomorrow afternoon. We'll give you all the details, and we're going to talk our soccer team. We always do that on Thursdays. We're going to update the Aztecs football. Kirk Kenney will be along with the latest on the new quarterback. So it's a good day. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Back. We got a good one, good show today. And tomorrow we're going to have a lot of fun. And I hope you'll join us. We're going to be broadcasting tomorrow from Islands Restaurant, Carmel Mountain Ranch, right off of Carmel Mountain Road exit off the 15. Head east. I think you go up the hill a little bit. It's not very far up there. You'll see Islands on the left side. Skraby and I will be broadcasting from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be there the entire 4 hours. We look forward to spending some time with you and enjoying the glow of first place in the National League West.
Which is great. We could say that because we know for a fact Padres are still going to be in first place.
We will still be there tomorrow, and we will be giving away, among other things, a Fernando Tatis Jr. autographed baseball. We'll be giving away tickets to see the Padres and Giants next week when the Gigantes come here on Michael King bobblehead night. We'll actually have tickets for that game.
No, we have a bobblehead.
I thought we had tickets to the game. I think we have bobbleheads.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we have the.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Okay, we have tickets to the game on Michael King bobblehead night, and then we have a couple of bobbleheads to give away as well. So we'll be giving away at least one prize every hour, and just having a good old time at Islands tomorrow. And then, stick around. You can watch the Padres and Dodgers right there at Islands tomorrow night. So we're excited. Look forward to seeing you out there tomorrow. I know a lot of people have been in touch and saying, when is it? Where is it? And what time is it? And now you know. So
yes,
tomorrow, 2 o'clock to 6, Skraby and I at Islands. At some point during the show today, we'll be giving away a Michael King bobblehead as well. So that is coming up a little later on this program. As we said, it'll be Wednesday night. And that giveaway Wednesday will be limited to the first 40,000 fans in attendance.
This is a good one.
You won't have to worry about that if you can win the Michael King bobblehead on the program today.
I want to shout out Nate Taylor, who's always on the chat, listens to all of our shows all day long, and he was in here picking up his bobblehead earlier, and I finally got to meet him, and that was cool. But that Michael King bobblehead is pretty cool.
It is pretty nice.
I gotta say.
It is nice. Cubs just went down 2-1 final. They lose to the Blue Jays. If you're keeping track, that slips the Padres a half game ahead of the Cubs in the overall National League standings. Vlad Guerrero Jr. hit a 2-run homer to turn the game around in the bottom of the 7th inning and make a winner of our old friend Max Scherzer, who was a Padre for about 25 minutes one day.
He wasn't ever a Padre, Chris.
Thanks to Ken Rosenthal, he was. We had him. We were celebrating his arrival until the horrible news came in that not only was he not a Padre, he was a Dodger.
I wish we still had. I wish we were on video at the time.
We were not pleased at all of that.
No, we were not.
We were not pleased at all that transpired.
But hey, they ended up getting that grand slam. The what was it? Slammerina off of Max Scherzer. So it's all good.
That was another time and another place. All right. So earlier today we had the roundtable. And we will, you'll get to hear it in its entirety. If you didn't hear it already, you'll hear it in its entirety at 5 o'clock today. It's an hour of commercial-free Padre talk. And the host of it, well, we're all on it, but Ben Higgins kind of runs it. And he brought it up that he was listening earlier this week when I went out and went on and on.
A harangue,
as I tend to do, about the fact that Fernando Tatis Jr. not only leads the Padres in WAR this year, but he leads by a wide margin. Fernando's WAR now is up to 5.0. Nick Pivetta is second, which I totally can get. He's been great. Manny Machado, who I think, pretty sure, if they had the voting today, would be a unanimous choice as the Padres MVP this year. But despite that, Manny's WAR is only 3.7. He's way behind Fernando. And I just don't get it. Now, I understand, first of all, know this, I'm not a fan of the WAR statistic, but this is why I'm not. I don't think it paints a clear picture of who's really the better player. And what I bring up to support my argument is just look at what's going on. Now, if you want me to cite a bunch of statistics offensively, obviously Manny is ahead of Fernando in every conceivable category except for runs scored, which is where Fernando at the top of the lineup has the advantage. But other than that, it's not even really a contest, right? Manny Machado has been the superior player. Everyone who follows the Padres at all knows it, except for the WAR statistic, which tells me, like, if you haven't watched a game all year and all you did was look at the WAR, you'd go, wow, Fernando's been way better. Well, he certainly has been better on defense. That I can't argue. Nobody can. Fernando's probably got a good chance to win his second, not Gold Glove, but what are they?
Platinum.
Platinum Glove. Thank you. I forgot. I was going to say Sterling. Yes, the Platinum Glove is the best overall defender. He made another great catch yesterday. He makes it look routine. And Fernando is so gifted athletically. He's making plays right and left, running down foul balls, saving runs, throwing runners out. He's been outstanding, and I do value defense. But the argument against Manny and why Manny's WAR is so low is because he leads baseball with 14 errors. Manny does. He's got more than any player in baseball. And as it is explained to me, the WAR statistic just does not like Manny on defense, and the WAR statistic loves Fernando. Fine. You can cite the numbers.
I will.
And if you're against me, then you will. And I'm assuming you're against me because you kind of always are.
I'll give my take in a second.
All right. Manny had 7 errors last year, 7 errors in 23. You add that together, and he's got 14 this year. So that's okay. Or that's not okay. But here's my argument back on the defense. Give me somebody you'd rather playing third base defensively than Manny Machado. Again, you want to give the award to Key Brian Hayes. You want to give it to Ryan McMahon. He's in the American League now. You want to give it to Arenado still years after his prime. You can have all those guys. I'll still take Manny Machado at third base. This guy makes plays that I've never seen any third baseman make, and that includes Brooks Robinson, who I happen to get to see way back when. Mike Schmidt, any of them. Manny's right up there in par with anybody when it comes to making plays. So, again, the WAR tells me that Manny's not good. But you tell me, is he good on defense or not? What do you think? What if you had to say to somebody who's never seen Manny play, he runs out to third base, and they ask you, is that guy any good over there? What would you say?
I would say, yeah, he's good. But I would also say, if I'm being truthful, this year he hasn't been as good as the past. He's the number one air guy for third baseman with 14.
Yes, he leads baseball.
He's third. No, well, Anthony Volpe and Ellie De La Cruz have done some.
They have more. They have more. I thought, okay, he's leading. They have
16 now. But okay, Manny Machado, you cannot take away from the fact that he is causing more errors than he has in most of his career.
He's made, the only year in his career that he's had more errors than this is 2015. 10 years ago with Baltimore, he had 19 errors, and I think he was playing shortstop then. So, he was playing mostly third base.
You have to penalize him because of on the defensive side. Finally. And also, Fernando is like we talked about on the roundtable, Fernando is third in runs scored in baseball.
I mentioned that.
That weights too. So, I mean, Fernando's making it around.
But it weights too much.
But that weights too ultimately, much. A run is a run, and that's how you win games. It has nothing to do with hitting.
Who's bringing that run in? Usually it's Manny.
It could be.
Hey, look, the thing is if you want to argue, if you want to be a WAR fan and you want to tell me that the WAR's telling us that Fernando's better than Manny, again, by a wide margin, it's not close. The WAR says 5.0, 3.7.
I think you're looking at it the wrong way.
You cannot tell me that is accurate.
I think you're looking at it the wrong way.
If you've been watching the season.
I think you're looking at it the wrong way. If we're going to talk about the WAR statistic, the WAR statistic needs to be a standalone thing, because you're thinking of the eye test, which to me, the eye test, Manny is a better player than Fernando right now.
This year.
But Manny also makes more mistakes than Fernando does on the defensive side. So that's why Fernando is better, because he's not making mistakes.
Who makes more mistakes running the bases? Does that count?
I mean, what kind of mistakes? Like getting
trying to steal third with 2 outs.
I mean, Manny has run into some outs at second base.
If you want to argue if you want to even think about arguing the baseball IQ of these two players, believe me, you're not going to have a chance.
Manny's going to win that every single time, because Manny has shown us so many times this year. But you're talking about intangibles. You're talking about things that really can't be measured.
Okay, well, WAR is only looking at 2 things: runs scored and, your defense out there. There's a lot of things. I don't know. I would almost be willing to give it to you if it was Fernando 5.0, Manny 4.9. But it ain't even close. Fernando is the superior player, according to WAR.
The other thing with WAR,
just no way he is. Not this year. Sorry. Anyway.
The other thing with WAR that is unfortunate is that there's so many different calculations of it that we don't really have a standard to go by.
Yeah.
And who you're probably angering right now? Our boss. He's a huge WAR guy.
I don't think I can be angering anybody with this, because we're talking about 2 great players who fortunately both play for our team. I will finish with this. If you don't buy my argument on Manny over Fernando, explain to me how the WAR statistic has Randy Vasquez ahead of Adrian Morejon, Jeremiah Estrada, and Robert Suarez. If you can explain that to me.
More innings pitched.
Okay, fine.
More chances to have an impact on your team.
Okay, fine.
I'm not as strong in my argument on that one.
It's pretty hard to be strong with that one.
But Manny, his errors are going to hurt him in that department.
Perfect. His errors are killing him in that department. There's no argument. That's exactly what's happening. But I just think it's absurd. Ben didn't call. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. Stick around.
Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Machado has joined the show. Manny, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
I guess we got to start with the most important part. I mean, you reached a pretty big milestone, hit 2,000. You hit 2004 now. You hit 350 early in the year. I mean, at what point in the offseason, at what point at all does this start to become something that you're actually thinking about? Because, I mean, that's a lot of hits, man. You ain't thinking about that from the beginning.
I knew the 3,000 was coming. I mean, I knew both of them going into the season where I was at, how many I was missing to get to those milestones. But thinking about it, I mean – right to like when you got 2 hits left. I'm not gonna lie, I've been searching for those 2 hits for a while, and man, I said it earlier this week. I mean, it's really hard to get a hit in the big leagues.
Yeah,
and that made me realize that just looking for those 2 hits, you're I mean, the ones before have come. I mean, I hit 3 yesterday. That was it kind of just came. But when you're searching for it, when you want to hit those 2 hits, man, it's really hard. But finally you get it, and it's kind of like, all right, let's go. Now it's kind of let's get it past it and enjoy it.
Did it weigh on you as you got closer? I mean, you started about 100 away when you came into the
100.
season. Did it weigh on you as you started to get closer?
No, not really. I think when it got really close, I think when it was when it kind of started thinking about it. The last couple, And then it didn't help that I kind of got into a little fun going into, Cincinnati and Philadelphia. I'm like, man, those are the 2 places you want to get hot. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm going to these 2 places, get a few homers, get a few knocks, hopefully, get it done on the road. And then, you go to Cincy, we get almost no hit by Nick. And then that whole road trip kind of just went to spot and I couldn't really get it. But you know what? I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
It kind of felt good to do it in front of the home crowd and get the standing ovation and do it in front of the people that support you every single day. So I think that it kind of worked out even better.
Talking to Manny Machado here on 97.3 The Fan for Friday. And one of the things I love about you is that you love the game and the history of the game and the history behind the stats and all that stuff. And do you ever get to stop and think about 40 years from now, 30, 40 years from now? I know I'm going to be telling my unborn grandchildren that I'm sitting here interviewing you right now because I think you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. But do you ever give yourself the ability to stop and think about how you're going to be remembered?
Not really, honestly. Not really. I love living in the moment. I people ask me, how's it feel to hit 2,000 hits? Were you even thinking about that? And honestly, I kind of don't even want to reflect on it yet. I think I kind of want to wait for that and kind of look back and really realize, how cool all of this is. I kind of just, that's how I live life. I like living in the moment. I just enjoy every single day I come. Today's a brand new day, put yesterday in the past and enjoy what's today going to bring us. Right. And, I kind of just try to live by that way. But hopefully, one day I definitely want to look back. I know they're pretty cool numbers. They're pretty cool things I've been doing so far. But I kind of just want to keep living in the moment for a little bit more.
How long can you see yourself playing in your 40s?
I got no choice. I got no choice.
Deeper into your 40s, can you see yourself?
How this game is going, probably not. But yeah, I'm gonna try to. Look, there's two sides of things, right? There's obviously I'm gonna be a little bit older. The game's gonna be younger. The game's probably gonna be faster. When I came up 10 years ago, it was average. You had two guys in the bullpen throwing 96. Right. You have two guys throwing 96 now, and everybody else is throwing harder than that. Right. Right. That's the lowest now at this point. So, is the game going to be at that level when I'm in the 40s? Who knows? But on the flip side of that, there's going to be technology. There's going to be stuff that you can do a lot better to take care of your body a lot better. You're going to be able to recover faster. And I think, me knowing myself, I'm probably going to be ahead of that curve on trying to take care of my body as best as I can.
Talking to Manny Machado here on Friday, 97.3 The Fan. And I want to know, because you hit number 2,000, was a hard hit single. Number 2001, a homer. Would you have switched those in your mind? Or are you happy with how it played out?
No, I think I'm good how it played out. I think it's better kind of just to have that moment for yourself and kind of just say, man, I would have preferred a double, honestly.
Okay.
I would have preferred a double than a single. But even before that, I was even telling Bogey, I walked out, I'm like, man, I think I'm going to butt. I think I'm going to butt one, just to kind of get a little closer to that 2000.
That would have been memorable if you would have bunted on your 2000 hit. Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Machado has joined the show. Manny, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
I guess we got to start with the most important part. You reached a pretty big milestone, hit 2000, you had 2004 now, you hit 350 early in the year. At what point in the off season, at what point at all does this start to become something that you're actually thinking about? Because that's a lot of hits, man. You ain't thinking about that from the beginning.
I knew the 3,000 was coming. I knew both of them going into the season where I was at, how many I was missing to get to those milestones. But thinking about it, right to when you got two hits left. I'm not gonna lie, I've been searching for those two hits for a while, and man, I said it earlier this week. It's really hard to get a hit in the big leagues. Yeah, and that made me realize that just looking for those two hits, you're the ones before have come. I hit 3 yesterday. That was it kind of just came, but when you're searching for it, when you want to hit those two hits, man, it's really hard. But finally you get it, and it's kind of like, all right, let's go. Now it's kind of let's get it past it and enjoy it.
Did it?
Michael King will start the opener against the living legend himself, Clayton Kershaw, for the Dodgers. And unless Kershaw is going to pitch 9 innings, the Dodgers are going to be in trouble because they're going to have to go to that leaky bullpen at some point tomorrow night.
I listened to the Dodgers radio on the way home last night.
These guys are winding up a storm.
My goodness. Chris, I'm not even kidding. They talked about every hot team in baseball but the Padres.
Yeah.
They kept pointing out every team in baseball that's doing well except the Padres.
Yeah, they don't, they figure maybe if they don't talk about it, we'll go away.
Yeah.
But we're not going away. I will add to the Dodgers broadcasters complaining. The Dodgers fans are absolutely beside themselves now. Dave
Get
Roberts,
yourselves together, Dodgers fans.
Are you guys kidding me? Dave Roberts won you the World Series last year. I know it was his second. I know if you want to say the first one was tainted, whatever you want to say. He's won 2. He won last year, and here he is, and you want him fired. And I don't mean kinda. They want him carried out on, whatever you carry people out on.
Waiting to see where you're going.
I don't know. I lost that one, but they want Dave Roberts
him out of town, is what you're saying.
They do. And here's the thing, Dave Roberts. I've said this before. Managers can only be as good as their bullpen. If every time you bring a bullpen guy in, he does the job, then you look smart. And if every time you bring a bullpen guy in and he stinks, then you look dumb. Well, Dave Roberts looking pretty dumb right about now. So we'll see. Tomorrow night, the series will get underway. The Padres will bring into the series a 1-game lead in the NL West. Padres, you may be aware, are not the only first-place team that we have here in San Diego. We have another bunch that has been doing it all year long. And that is SDFC right now, 4 points up on second place Vancouver in the MLS West. And joining us right now, our weekly MLS visit from Apple TV play-by-play broadcaster Jake Ziven on 97.3 The Fan. Jake, always appreciate your time. How are you today, sir?
Doing great. Great to chat. And how about San Diego FC? They keep rolling, huh?
Keep rolling. I watched the game last week, and frankly, I'm not I don't break down film, on soccer, but I mean, they beat, Sporting KC. They beat him 2-0. It seemed like they beat him even worse than that. I know the score, but they're kind of running circles around some of these teams, really playing some fun soccer to watch. There was a lot of scoring chances all night long.
First of all, that's a good thing. Don't feel like you have to break down film. Just enjoy the game like a normal fan, right? Man, everybody gets so into the data and sometimes into the nitty-gritty, the X's and O's in sports that I feel like we just forget to just be entertained and enjoy it. So that's the way to do it, in my opinion, no matter what sport it is. And I think look, San Diego, the way they play, it's beautiful, and they want to control the game, and they do such a good job of controlling the game with the ball, highest possession or second highest possession in Major League Soccer this year. But actually, when you look at the quality chances, Kansas City missed a lot of chances in that game. San Diego was maybe a little bit fortunate. Now, they controlled the ball most of the game, but ultimately soccer is about scoring goals. Kansas City actually, I think, created more chances to do that. But San Diego were the ones with their special players, Anders Dreyer, Chucky Lozano, that took advantage of a couple moments and won the game. So I think Mikey Varas will probably look back at how many opportunities Kansas City had missed, and that will be his focus after that game of trying to make sure that doesn't happen. But ultimately, man, he's going to be thrilled with the win, and he's going to be thrilled with the team remaining in first place.
I was hoping you wouldn't have noticed that because, honestly, I did glance up and see quite a few times where Kansas City was buzzing around the goal. And our goalie was standing on his head. So I think you're right. Mikey Varas will take the win, but he'll be looking for a little better performance this weekend, especially against San Jose, because at least statistically, these are two of the highest scoring teams in the league, right? They both put up a bunch of goals, so sounds like it should be a lot of fun up in San Jose.
I hope so, right? I mean, as we're calling the game the Sunday Night Soccer on Apple TV. You can watch it on Apple TV Plus. You can watch it all over the world. And when we always say as commentators, we don't root for teams, we don't root for specific players, but we do root for good stories. We do root for interesting, big moments, and we root for entertaining games. And this certainly has that all, at least on paper. The two highest scoring teams in the Western Conference. San Jose allows a lot of goals as well. Hopefully it's a shootout. We hope it is, because those are more fun to call and more fun to broadcast and more fun for everybody to watch. And I think it should be. San Jose is a dangerous team in the attack, especially at home. Their front three are really, really good. Chicho Arango, Joseph Martinez, and Christian Espinosa, and they will cause San Diego problems. And if San Diego gives them the chances that they gave Sporting Kansas City, that could be a problem, because those three guys honestly are better than any attacker on Sporting Kansas City, and they'll probably finish those chances.
Talking to play-by-play announcer for MLS Season Pass, Jake Zivin. And Jake, the rest of the league has to be wondering what in the world SDFC is doing. So I'm wondering, in your travels this year, what are they? Are they kind of hoping and feeling like they're going to fall off, or are they just kind of scratching their head like, what is going on in San Diego that they're winning so many games?
Man, to me, it's the most impressive part about it. And so we called, I think, 4 of the first 6 San Diego games and did a lot of media during the week, radio shows, TV, local news in San Diego during that run. And, kept getting asked, hey, is this for real? Can they keep doing this? And my answer was, they've shown they're going to be a good team in the Western Conference. They're definitely going to be a playoff team. They might challenge for top 4. But staying in first, being an MLS Cup contender, a Western Conference title contender, that's just so hard to do as an expansion team, because your depth is going to get tested throughout a long season with injuries and absences. And I thought at one point they would dip. But at this point in the season, they've proven they're not going to dip. They've proven that they can do it no matter how far the depth chart they have to go. If they're starting their number 1 overall draft pick, Mano Dua, who was drafted as a midfielder, as a central midfielder, starting him as a center back and not really missing a beat. I thought the back line was going to be kind of the weakness, because it's young, it's inexperienced, and there wasn't a ton of, at least on paper, depth there. I was wrong. It's remarkable what San Diego has done. I think there's a lot of respect around the league for Mikey Bowers, for Tyler Heaps, for what San Diego has built. And I certainly think at this point in the season, everybody feels like they are for real. Playoffs are a different matter, right? When that comes around, experience helps. But I always think that come the end of the season, come playoffs, it's the big players, it's the stars, it's the match winners that stand out. And San Diego have those guys. They have Chucky Lozano, they have Anders Dreyer. Those are the guys that will win you playoff games. I think San Diego was set up just, as well as any team to kind of continue this on and be a real contender and potentially even a favorite come playoff time in the Western Conference.
Jake Zivin breaking it down, MLS play-by-play for Apple TV. You kind of touched on it there with the, what you think they can do in the postseason. And what I wanted to ask is just from that perspective, because we have heard about their style and how, the San Diego like to, move forward and press and, take some chances, and it's been working for them. Is that a style that champion teams play, or does, because you see it in other sports, does it get more defensive minded in the playoffs?
Yeah, it can be. I tend to think that, again, when it comes to the playoffs in MLS specifically, I think when you look over the years that the teams that win have players who win them games, because soccer, it's a low scoring sport, right? So ultimately it's about who is going to take that chance and who is going to score that one goal that's going to decide the game. In that one moment, who's not going to mess up, right? Or who's going to create that spectacular moment. And that comes down to, a lot of times, superstar players. And so San Diego has that. But they also have that distinct style of play where everybody's on the same page. The problem with that, with their specific style when it comes to the playoffs, could be the moments can go the other way when they're so dogmatic about playing the ball out of the back, about always keeping possession. If you have one slip up in the back in a bad spot, you can gift, the risk is you gift the other team a goal. And in playoffs, when the margins are slim, that can be the difference. But, it's not quite the whole, in soccer, it's not quite the defense wins championship thing. It can be, but last year, the reigning champs, the LA Galaxy, they weren't very good defensively. They figured it out enough at the end of the year, but they were just juggernauts in the attack. The year before, Columbus Crew, same thing, LAFC. So MLS has seen these kind of really good attacking teams that are really dynamic, that know how they want to play, that have superstars. That's been more often than not the formula in MLS. And San Diego is following that formula. What they don't have are as much, I would say, of like the big veteran, longtime MLS leaders, which you tend to find on championship teams. But man, I mean, again, everybody that's been waiting for them to slip, that's maybe been doubting them that they can maintain, they've been wrong to this point. And we've got a quarter of the season left, and there's no reason to doubt them now.
We're talking to play-by-play announcer Jake Zivin for MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. And I'm going to ask you not something about the team, but about the MLS season. It started in February, and the playoffs start October 22nd. I'm wondering, is that just because it's way too difficult to play as many games in a short period of time? Is that why they spread it out, or why did they do that?
Yeah, look, soccer is more like American football than it is baseball, obviously basketball, hockey. It is typically a 1 game a week type of sport because of just kind of the physical exertion of running 10 miles a game. I mean, you look at and how much some of these guys run, it's 10, 11 miles. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it's in the 7, maybe it's 7, 8 miles a game. That's a lot. You need to recover. And so, you can play midweek game, and there's a lot of midweek games as well, but you certainly can't play more than 2 games a week. And if you play 2 games a week, every week you're running down guys. You got to rotate your team. So that's why it's how it is everywhere in the world. To be honest, the off season in MLS for teams that miss the playoffs is quite long compared to off seasons around the world. And talk about the Premier League, La Liga, the Bundesliga, right? The big European leagues, and pretty much every league in the world. It's just how soccer is for whatever reason. Very different from the American sports that have longer off seasons, much to my wife's chagrin, because my broadcast season goes, a week and a half into December for MLS Cup. And then we're doing preseason games come February. So we don't have a long off season. But it's just kind of the nature of the sport. And that's how it is all over the world.
And we got a lot of fans who watch the Premier League, and you mentioned it. They're just getting started. Yeah. New season, brand new, fresh, right this weekend?
This weekend, but it's already, it seems early, right? I mean, look, the NFL doesn't start till September, and the NBA, yada, yada, and the Premier League would have ended, late May, and then all those guys are also playing in these summer tournaments, whether it's the Club World Cup or for their national teams. So the Premier League's off season is really kind of 2 months, which is in line with the MLS teams that win MLS Cup, probably 2.5 months. But you're talking right there back for preseason, maybe a month before actual games start, or 3 weeks before games start. So that's soccer. Yeah.
Show me something, Jake. Give me a Premier League winner before the season starts. Come on. There's only 20 teams to choose from here. Come on.
I know. 20. Come on. In the Premier League, there's 2 teams to choose for who's going to win the league.
Okay.
I'll go Liverpool again. I'll take chalk. But look, man, I'm going to use this to get on my little soapbox because I'm a lifelong MLS guy. I find MLS so much more interesting because you have a team like San Diego FC that can be a legitimate contender that nobody saw coming. And in the Premier League, you're asking who's going to win. There's probably 3, maybe 4 options: Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, maybe Chelsea, maybe. That's it. Nobody else has a chance. And the season hasn't even started yet. So for me, I prefer a more interesting league.
A little more wide open. All right, sir. Thanks so much, Jake. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the season. Thanks for all the insight. We love it.
Of course, anytime. Take care.
Very good. Jake Zivin there from Apple TV. They got the match Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night football, as they say, Skraby. 4:00.
Yes, they do.
San Jose. And if you're going to watch one match, right, you're going to tune in and you're going to say, hey, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to, whatever. This might be the one, just because statistically, these are the top 2 scoring teams in the West. They both will take shots at it and go for it and try to, score a bunch of goals. So there should be a wide open match. Sorry.
That's okay.
Wide open match for you on Sunday night.
I've come a long way in my question asking, because I remember at the beginning of the year, I got crushed for asking,
why do they have dots on the ball?
No, I got crushed for asking about shin guards and whether or not they still check them and wear them.
I just got to tell you, all these guys that have come on from the MLS, guys and gals, they have been really good to us. They have made me kind of really get into the season. And I will say this, because you brought it up in the interview, it's been a long stretch. Like I'm ready to get to the postseason and play like for the cup. But, you know, we got a little ways to go before we get there. So.
Yeah, and these guys have really I was telling the person I work with on getting these guys on the show, they've all been really like open to maybe dumb questions. They've all been like if I ask a dumb question I really don't understand, they will answer it.
And they usually say that was a good question, and then they go,
that was a good question, and then I raise my hands in the air,
You're
feeling
so
good about myself.
Excited about that.
I mean, whenever you get a good question from someone, Chris, you know it's exciting.
I like it. I like to hear that. It's a very good thing for anybody who's being interviewed to say.
Yeah.
If you're out there, somebody interviews you, you can really make the person feel good by just going, that was a really good question.
Yeah. Never say it was a bad question. Just answer it short and then move on.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
All right. We got an hour in. Kirk Kenney will join us in the next hour. Aztecs have named their starting quarterback. Football. 2 weeks from today, by the way, Aztec football. That's right there. So the new man on the Mesa there, and get the latest on the Aztecs. Padres are idle, you know that. Tomorrow they're in LA, you know that. We got a lot more Padre talk coming up, and a daily gambit as Gwynn and Chris continues.
Things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
Things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but Can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
On 97.3 The Fan. This is breaking news from 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we welcome you to hour number 2 of the Gwynn and Chris show from the Odyssey Palace Studios on this Thursday. Nothing to be too, scared about here, but not good news nonetheless. And it just happened as we were going to commercial break.
I saw it pop up on my phone as I clicked the button.
Yeah, so we had to hold off for a couple of minutes. We had to play the break, but here's the bad news for the Padres. Look, they've had nothing but good news.
Yeah,
until this one. I'll let you be the. So when they shoot somebody, they'll shoot you, the messenger. Will be you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Let me get the tweet so I can read it.
Yeah, read it
from the Padres.
It's actually from the Padres, so it's not like a reported thing. It's actually happened.
We have placed Michael King on the 15-day IL, retro to 8/11 with left knee inflammation, and recalled the traffic cop, Randy Vasquez from AAA El Paso.
Ah, boy. Let that sink in for a moment. Yeah, Michael King was going to start the opener of the big series tomorrow night in Los Angeles. He is not going to do that now. Goes on the injured list, not due back until August 26th at the earliest, right? He's got 15 days. It's retroactive to the 11th. So Randy Vasquez is recalled. No announcement yet. I mean, this only happened a matter of seconds ago, but no official announcement who will start tomorrow night's game against the Dodgers. I'll be honest with you. I could live with Randy Vasquez. After all, according to the WAR statistic that we talked about earlier, Randy Vasquez is better than Michael King. All you got to do is look at the WAR statistic. That'll tell you exactly who the better pitcher is.
Chris is.
It drives me crazy.
Well, Michael King's had 7 starts.
I don't care.
Year?
I don't care. Who's better?
Randy Vasquez is.
Okay, apparently so.
You know
right.
what? These types of injuries make me irrationally angry. I know it's necessary, probably. I know that Michael King wants to pitch. Left knee inflammation, to me, after missing the entire season.
You feel like put some ice on it.
Yes.
Let's go.
And again, I don't know the severity of it.
No,
I don't know what it's like to pitch for the first time in 3 months in a major league game.
Look, there's a certain amount of that probably going on in everybody's mind right now. Like, why can't he pitch? What's the deal? Left knee? What? Come on. Rub a little ice and get out there. But we'll see. Now, I said Vasquez. He's not been announced as the starter.
No.
I'm just assuming.
I mean,
who else are you going to do?
Two together, it's Vasquez.
Right. I mean, who else are you going to do? You did not recall J.P. Sears. You recalled Randy Vasquez.
Yeah, or Matt Waldron or some of those other guys. So.
Here's the funny thing. People are saying, well, I'm worried about Michael King tomorrow night because, he really looked rusty last week against the Red Sox. And of course he did. Here's my thing, though. So take him out in the second inning. When we get our bullpen in there, we're unbeatable practically. I mean, the Padres have such a good situation right now. I mean, I wouldn't expect if Vasquez starts tomorrow night, probably not going to go more than 3-4 innings at the most. And then they'll get everybody in there and they'll be fine. So that's the plan. That is what I would assume will be the plan. As soon as we know exactly who's starting and, they make an announcement, we'll let you know. But right now, King, DL, IL. And you've got Vasquez coming up.
Well, when I learned to stop drinking, I had to do pros and cons lists.
Okay, what'd you come up with on this one?
A pro for Michael King going on the IL with knee inflammation that is not his arm or his thoracic outlet or anything like that.
That's not that. Very good.
A con is, I don't know if we can count on him going forward.
Okay.
I don't know that we can count on him.
The inflammation swelling in his knee will go down and he will be back on the mound. The real negative here is that he's missing another start, which he's going to need to make a few
these starts, yes,
before he's back to full strength.
So
this slows his progress to return. And I know that a lot of you out there are going, here we go. It's the Padre only in San Diego. This is really not a big one.
No, I mean,
Michael King probably not going to pitch more than 3-4 innings tomorrow night anyway. Randy Vasquez, probably pretty much the same thing. And you can count on Vasquez to get through the order once, most times.
They're going to let him go twice.
Okay. And then bring the bullpen in. Get the bullpen in there as soon as possible.
I mean, he's been pretty good against the Dodgers this year. The first time he pitched against them, he went 4 2/3. He only gave up 1 earned run. The second game, he went 5. He gave up 3 earned runs. I mean, they lost both of those games, but he hasn't been terrible against the Dodgers this year.
Randy Vasquez has been anything but terrible this year. I mean, all you need to do is look at the Padres record when he starts. It's really, really good. Well, I'm looking it up.
Oh, the Padres record.
Yeah, not his
14-8.
Yeah, when he starts, they win most of the time. As a matter of fact, it was about 3 weeks ago. He had a better record, or the Padres had a better than he started than they did when Nick Pivetta started.
Yeah,
which made no sense.
That makes no sense. You're right.
It's exactly why Randy Vasquez's WAR is so high. Right, Skraby?
Yeah, you know what? We're getting a good WAR guy starting for Michael King tomorrow, so I'm happy with this.
I'm just Randy Vasquez has a 2.0.
And we're already assuming that he's starting.
Yes, right. I know we're making the decision for them. Randy Vasquez has a 2.0 WAR, Michael King 1.4. So there you go. We're in excellent hands tomorrow night.
That means the Padres win 2 more games with Randy Vasquez
than they would with his replacement. Yeah. Yes, I understand.
His replacement was Michael King.
I understand the theory behind the WAR. I just hate the WAR. By the way, the last time Randy Vasquez was a winning pitcher, May 14th.
I was going to say 1932.
It's been a little while, but
he doesn't pitch enough.
No, right. They take him out in the 4th inning.
Here's his last 4 starts for the Padres: 4 1/3, 4 1/3, 4 2/3, 4 innings even.
Yeah, but look at the number of pitches: 86, 68, 67, 71. It's not like he's worn out.
That's a good.
They just can't wait to get him out.
That's a good point. Kenny says, "What with the off day? Why not bump up the rotation? Cease, Darvish, Cortez, use Vasquez versus Giants.
Maybe they'll do it, Kenny, but I doubt it. They don't want to mess with everybody at the expense of one game.
Yeah, and
that's
if you could
normally
put a guy,
not the way that you do it.
If you could put a guy like Randy Vasquez, who you do have some confidence in, you want to do that.
You trust him. I think they'll go with Vasquez tomorrow, but as soon as we know officially, we will let you in on it. Sorry about being the bearers of bad news, but Michael King is back to the IL.
The beef says King is done. Great.
It's over. Yeah, it's over.
I do really get unusually angry about this stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense for me to feel the way I do, but I was so excited to get Michael King back. I hate seeing guys go right back on the IL again. I know that Michael King wants to pitch.
As I told you, Skraby, the big thing here is that he's missing a couple of chances to start his recovery, basically. This delays his recovery. That's all it does.
It does.
And after that, we'll see. All right, so, the news has been nothing but good for 3 weeks. There's some bad.
Jessica says, I feel like this was timed perfectly just so Chris could announce it and use his WAR statistic.
Thank you, Jessica. You're absolutely right. My eyes brightened up when I saw this news come in. While we're at the bad news, let's slip a little more in there.
Uh-oh.
The Luis Arraez trade is not looking as dominant all of a sudden.
He won a batting title last year.
I know, but one of the guys he was traded for, Jacob Marcy, has I don't know if anybody's noticed this unless you're like a hardcore fantasy player. Marcy has gone crazy.
Yes.
For the Marlins.
Yeah.
Since he's come up, he's only been up for about 2 weeks. Last night he had 2 home runs. He tied the Marlin record with 7 RBIs. Here's Jacob Marcy's stats right now. Since August 1st, that's 2 weeks. He's hitting .436. 17 hits. He's got 13 RBIs already, 3 homers, and 6 stolen bases. His on base is .542. Yikes. Can we have him back?
But is he in the playoffs right now? The answer is no.
And he won't be. The other guy that hit a home run last night in that game for the Marlins, by the way, Graham Pauley.
Oh, wow.
Guys are coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden now.
He finally was able to not hit it off of his face.
All right. You're just such a nice guy. You're so wonderful to these poor guys that are out there playing their hearts out for you.
No, I try really hard to be fair to them, but that was hilarious, and he doesn't play for this team anymore.
Couple of other baseball news, and we'll get to the Daily Gambit in the next segment. The Nationals today got rid of their first baseman, Nathaniel Lowe. DFA'd, hitting .216.
Wow. Okay.
Dylan Cruz is called back up. He'd been on the IL for a while. That's not a pennant contending move necessarily. The Cubs lost it. I saw this injury. It was really tough to watch. Catcher Miguel Amaya.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy last night.
And he's their starting catcher.
Yeah.
Don't make no mistake. Now, he's been on the injured list for a long time. Comes back last night, tries to beat out an infield single, and lands and twists his knee up badly.
It was actually his ankle.
Was it the ankle?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sprained left ankle.
It was weird because I was doing the show and the game was on TV and I look up and he's like flopping on the ground.
Yeah, Miguel Amaya is not going to be a gymnast anytime soon. He went down like a ton of bricks, but he goes to the injured list, so the Cubs will miss him again. They've been missing him for a while. The other name that's worth mentioning, Paul Goldschmidt of the struggling, free-falling Yankees, has a knee sprain, and his trip to the injured list is likely, although not 100% official yet. All right. So there's a few little other teams are getting some bad news as well.
Oh,
as the Padres.
The Cubs debuted a former Padre today, so they're
Owen Cassie, who was
is it Cassie?
I think so.
Oh man, I've been calling him Casey.
Looks like Cassie. I think it's Cassie.
Number 1 prospect for the Cubs, former Padre, was traded for Yu Darvish.
Darvish trade.
So this just tells you that AJ has his hand in on all the talent, Chris.
Well, the bottom line is it's Casey. K.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
KC.
All right. Cassie, huh?
I took a shot. Owen Casey is up for the Cubs. He went 0 for 4 in his debut today, but he is up. The guy traded for Darvish. So I'm glad to see some teams are getting something out of everything they're giving us.
Yeah.
Got to give them a little something back.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. We'll do a Daily Gambit when we return. Some traffic.
No, we got Kirk Kenney.
Oh, Kirk's next?
Yes.
Daily Gambit sometime later in the show.
Yes.
Stick around. We'll get a little traffic to you here in a moment as well. bad news today. Just about 20 minutes ago. Michael King, star, probably the number one pitcher, really. Ace, if he was healthy. Not healthy again. Inflammation in the left knee. And so King goes to the injured list 1 day ahead of his scheduled start. Tomorrow night against, the Dodgers. Kind of a game that is important. Randy Vasquez has been called up. Randy has not yet been announced as the replacement starter, but Skraby and I are surmising that he will be.
Yes, I mean they're not going to use him out of the bullpen, I don't think.
And the only other thing would be is if they just somebody texted and said, why don't they move everybody up a day since there's an off day? They could, but they don't like to mess with everybody's routine like that.
I you know what? We brought up the conversation of Pivetta yesterday, moved, and you just said that they won't do that because of the routine. But if they knew this yesterday, I think they should have considered moving something.
Pivetta back.
Yeah, moving him back and having him face the Dodgers in this series against them at Dodger Stadium.
I know what you're saying, but
when did they know this? Is my
we
question.
Don't know. Number one, number two. I'm telling you, even though it sounds all good in theory, it's not good. You don't want to give Pivetta, who's the guy you've really been counting on, 2 extra days off. It's just not right. It's just not what works. So that's why they don't do it. And that's why they didn't do it. And I think, if you're thinking along those lines, the Pivetta should have not pitched against the Giants because that was a gimme. There's no such thing as a gimme. They could have not started Pivetta and lost yesterday.
You're right. There's no such thing as a gimme.
All right. We'll get back to Padres. I don't know if we'll even get a daily gambit in, but we'll effort to try and find a space for it. Right now, though, going to talk some Aztec football. 2 weeks from tonight, 2 weeks from tonight, Aztecs open things up. Second season under head coach Sean Lewis, Kirk Kenney, the man breaking stories all over the Montezuma Mesa, joins us here. Hello, buddy. How are you?
Hey, fellas. What's going on?
Well, we're just
dreaming about Chick-fil-A.
We're hungry.
Aren't we all?
Did you go today already?
Yeah, I had a great lunch. I had a chicken sandwich with 2 pickles and a cup of soup.
A cup of soup?
Cup of soup.
What kind of soup do they
Chick-fil-A
have?
was going soup on us now.
Shockingly, it's chicken soup.
I guess the surprise would have been if it was, vegetarian.
Yeah, or like tomato
like
soup or something.
Kirk Kenney is, if you've not been with us when Kirk's been on before, he has gone to Chick-fil-A so many days in a row that they've actually got a plaque up there for him. How many days are you up to, Kirk? I've lost count.
Today was 1447.
1,447 days. And yes, he doesn't go on Sunday because they're not open, but his streak continues. All right, Kirk, big news this week. San Diego State announcing its new starting quarterback. And I wrote a lot about it, prior to the naming of the new signal caller, Jaden Denegal. But you said it was going to be a great competition, wide open, a lot of good guys, in the running. So what set Denegal apart in the mind of Sean Lewis?
I think just the way he commanded the field when he was on the field, just his leadership. And, you guys know, you've been around things. Certain quarterbacks just have a commanding presence. And
yeah,
I think it was between he and another junior transfer, Bert Emanuel Jr., it was a good competition. But they judged that Denegal was just a little bit superior.
Denegal has I don't know if he actually has one, but he should have an NCAA football national championship ring.
Yeah.
He was the backup to J.J. McCarthy in Michigan 2 years ago when they won it all.
That is interesting.
Right.
I think that is very interesting that someone of that stature, I guess, winning a national championship, being a backup for J.J. McCarthy. Now, it's good that he's choosing the Aztecs. But here's my question for you, Kirk. Is going into this year going to be better for the Aztecs because they don't have as much hype? It's a second year with a new coach. Last year, we were all trying to see what the new coach could do. Is there a chance that we are surprised at how good this team is this year?
I think there's definitely that chance. That coming off a 3-9 season, expectations are lower, and I think that creates an opportunity to surprise. I think Vegas had them at over under 4.5 wins, which I would think success would be a 6-win season and going to a bowl game, and anything above that would obviously be welcomed. But they're returning virtually everyone on defense, and then the offense, a lot of new faces. But Denegal, I think, is definitely going to be a nice upgraded quarterback. He's just he's 6'5", 235. Like you said, he's been at Michigan, so he's been around the block. I think he just has a presence, strong arm. And then some of the cast of characters around him, the good running back room with 3 local kids led by Lucky Sutton from Cathedral, and wide receiver core that's a lot of new faces, but Jordan Napier's the big name in that returning. He had a breakout year as a freshman.
Yeah.
And then offensive line has more depth and basically is healthy, so there's promise there as well.
There's also, people are really, you and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Kirk. I really think the Aztec fan in general, not all of them, a lot of them are, going to support and they love this, they're the red and black no matter what. I think a lot of people have been a little too negative, and that's coming from me, Mr. Negative, right? But I think, I think they've been a little too negative. It was the first year of a new coach, a new regime, a totally new way of playing football, totally different from what they had been before when they were a running team and, ground and pound. They tried to open everything up. They also tried to do it with a straight up freshman quarterback who had to have some growing pains. I just think the fact they're in year 2 has got to make them better, just on the surface.
Yeah, I would agree. When Brady Hoke was relieved after the 2023 season, they went 4-8. So, and also there's just so much change. You bring in a whole new staff, a new system. Half the team changes over now, I think, every year because of the portal.
Right.
And, so there's a lot of moving parts last year, which this year I think a lot of that's more quiet because a lot of players know the system, know what they're getting into. I think they've made some good additions through the portal. And I just think there are things to be optimistic about. Not to say that they're going to go undefeated, but I think there should be improvement, and I think they will be more fun to watch.
and there are fans out there that if they, go 10-2, are going to go, come on.
Well, I mean,
it's funny because the scrimmages tonight, right? I went back and reviewed what I wrote on last year's scrimmage, and right after the scrimmage, some fan emailed me, and he's like, "I'm done." I'm like, oh, well, at least you gave him a whole scrimmage.
Yeah, we had someone give up on the team earlier today. So
sure.
On the Padres, that is.
Right.
And then Jaden Denegal is going to have 2 national championship rings after this year, Chris.
There you go. There you go. Now you're thinking, Skraby.
Kirk, when you came in here over the summer, I can't remember exactly when it was a part of the season, but the baseball season, but we were talking about the Aztecs. We're talking about season tickets. We're talking about trying to get more people into the stadium. Have you heard anything about, different ideas that they may try to get some more people into the stadium?
I think they're going to do it with mirrors.
And smoke.
Well, mirrors will make it look like twice as many people.
Oh, I thought when you said mirrors, I thought you were going to say you're going to go down and perform magic.
Oh, no.
Smoke and mirrors.
No. Yes.
I haven't heard a lot of promotional things coming. I've been disappointed that I think a lot of the marketing I've seen is just things they've done before. And so I think I'm interested to see how much they can kind of make things new again. I've been critical of their marketing and critical of their ticket prices. I think that's the biggest thing. My feeling is you need to get people in there to create an atmosphere, and at the prices they charge, you cannot do that. And I think until they recognize that, or at least acknowledge it and do something to get more people welcomed in there, it's going to be a struggle.
You've been consistent.
And winning will help. But
right,
I still think the ticket prices.
Yeah, no, you've been consistent with that message, Kirk. You really have. And, to this point, honestly, nothing has happened to change, that feeling. I will say that I did like the note that, again, and I think it's the Cal game. They're going to honor the team from 10 years ago that went 11-3. That was an unbelievable season after they had I remember they got blown out at Penn State in the 4th game and went to 1-3. I think some guy named Saquon Barkley ran over them, and And I remember that week I did the coaches show with Rocky Long, and he said, I'm telling you, we found something in the Penn State game. I really think this team is going to, hit the ground. He really did say that. And I was like, okay, Rocky, whatever, because they didn't look like they'd ever win another game. And then they never lost another game. They won 10 in a row and took the conference, took the bowl game. That was a great season. Donnell Pumphrey, et cetera. So they're going to honor those guys.
To me, that was a great example of where you don't judge things a third of the way into the season. Let it play out.
Yeah.
And there were people calling for Rocky to be fired when they started 1-3. It's like, I think they were pretty quiet by the time they were 11-3.
Yeah, they were. And they blew everyone out, too. They went undefeated in the conference, beat Boise State. They won by like an average of 25, 30 points. That was a great team. Hopefully we can get back to that. And I'm going to just say, I just, from talking to you and being around these guys and Sean Lewis, I just think year number 2 is going to be a lot better. And I hope people will give them a shot at it. And we'll see about Jaden Denegal, the new starting quarterback. Kirk, thanks for updating us, man. Take care. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk
yes,
to you
sir.
later.
There he goes. Kirk Kenney on the Aztec update there. Jaden Denegal. Yeah. Backed up J.J. McCarthy. I mean, pretty high up there. So we'll see where he goes, in his
You don't play at
chance to
Michigan
start.
or get a spot on the team unless you're pretty good.
Probably didn't get recruited, at Michigan because he was not very good.
Yeah.
So you're thinking he's going to be, let's see what he can do. All right. Take a timeout. When we return, what's happening?
Well, we could talk a little bit more about the Michael King situation just to update everybody, but we have 30 Mile Zone, and it's just going to be
a potpourri of excitement.
The potpourri of Taylor Swift's appearance on Travis Kelce's podcast.
Gracious,
I got to tell you, TMZ Sports, when I went there this morning, they have about 7 posts in a row.
That's the biggest deal. This is the biggest news in the history of the world.
I don't understand it.
Taylor Swift is what the old saying, it's her world, we're living in it. It's true with her.
It's pretty crazy. I don't have a problem with this. If you want to go watch the podcast, go watch the podcast. But the amount of national news generated from this one podcast is insane.
All right, we'll get into some of that. And also anything new on Michael King, we'll let you know. If you just tuned in, he's gone on the injured list. He will not start the game tomorrow night in L.A. Who will? Hopefully we'll find out before too long as Gwynn and Chris resumes. language. Potpourri.
And it's spelled weird.
Potpourri.
Yes.
And I don't mean potpourri. You know, there's two definitions for potpourri, Skrabe.
All I know is that potpourri is supposed to be scented.
That's one of the definitions. It's the stuff you put like in a pot.
Yeah.
You put some hot water under there, and then it filters through, and it smells usually not all that great. Like overrated people like, oh, smell the potpourri. I'm like, yeah, I can smell it. It ain't great. The other part of potpourri is just that it's a bunch of different stuff we can talk about in one segment. And we're going to do that here at 3:37. Gwynn and Chris, Crisello, Mr. Skraby, alongside Tony is idle today. We will probably talk some football here at some point. When we do talk football on The Fan, it's presented by Paramount Plus, and you can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus. It's all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL. That will get you started. A little traffic will get us started in this segment.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Couple problems in the North County. One of them is this crash on southbound 15 right before Mira Mesa Boulevard. A solo vehicle accident over to the right shoulder. We've also got this crash on eastbound 78 just past El Camino Real. 2 vehicles involved there over to the right shoulder. Stalled car taking up the slow lane, southbound 805, right past Telegraph Canyon Road. Oops, looks like they managed to push it over to the right shoulder. Good news there. Also, south 805 at the 5 in the South Bay. There is a collision being cleared out of lanes. Now, southbound 5 right before the 54. Accident in second lane from the left. Couple vehicles involved. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
If you don't know your sports gossip, can you really call yourself a sports fan? It's time to bring together sports and celebrity gossip. We call it the 30-mile zone, mainly so we don't get sued by the real company. On 97.3 The Fan.
And before we get into it, if you're just getting in the car, Michael King has been placed on the IL. We will talk about that in a little bit. We're just going to take a small break from Michael King because we have no new news, but we will update you on everything shortly.
Yes, just in case you just tuned in, and it's nothing terribly major other than the fact that he's got a swelling on the left knee, apparently. 15-day injured list. So, the first upshot of that is that he will not make a start tomorrow night against the Dodgers. And we'll talk more, as you said. But we got 30-mile zone. We got kind of potpourri. We got Taylor Swift's news.
No, we're not going into that.
You're not going to do that, huh?
I mean, it was the most watched podcast ever.
The biggest thing in going, Skrabe. Come on.
Can you tell me Chris, can you tell me why Taylor Swift has the control over the entire world?
I can't. That's you know what? I would be willing to almost give it to her, and maybe somebody is going to get upset. But I'd be willing to give it to her if her music was just so much better than everybody else's.
I mean, I do like her music.
Okay, but I'm asking, is it so much better than everybody else's that she deserves the accolades that she gets?
Thing. I'm not a music person, so I can't really answer that, but I don't think that it's like Beethoven. We're going to be talking about her in 400 years.
Well, somebody explain it. Somebody send us on the chat. Why is Taylor Swift so popular? Like, not just popular, but just beyond popular.
She's the Beatles of this day and age.
She's the Beatles. And that's really saying something, because when the Beatles were the Beatles, pretty much the only game in town. They came over here from Liverpool. They, went on the Ed Sullivan Show. Everybody watched it. And then it was all about the Beatles. Taylor Swift is competing in a world where there's a lot of other things going on.
There's so many different things. You got Spotify. You got all this different stuff.
So what is it? Somebody explain it, because I don't know it either. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't.
Don't know.
Someone says she's palatable to several different demographics.
Okay. Palatable, though, doesn't seem to be enough to place you anyway on a level that high.
Excuse me, One Direction were the Beatles of our generation. Please get it right. I thought that was funny. Anyway, Chris, I would like to take you over to our stream real quick. There was an interview, or at least a media press conference with the Atlanta Falcons and their starting quarterback, Michael Penix Jr.
Should we?
I'm not going to say the word.
No, don't say it. But before you put this up, please tell parents who might have young children watching the stream with them.
I don't think this is that big of a deal.
Okay.
I don't think this is that big of a deal.
Understand. Take a quick look at it before you let your kids see. Make sure it's okay with you.
I have been waiting for this to happen.
It happened.
I just put up the picture on the screen.
Yeah.
And
that was a real
WTOC
television station that put his name up and spelled it that way. For those that are wondering,
Michael Male Body Part Jr.
Yeah, if you're wondering, the Falcons used to have another quarterback a left-hander named Michael. His last name was Vick. If you changed a letter, you got something else. Same with Michael Penix. If you change a letter, you get something else.
Yes.
And they changed the letter, and that's got to be one of the most embarrassing things any TV station has ever done.
It is really funny.
Come on.
It's kind of funny.
How did somebody, no one saw that?
Yeah.
It almost makes me feel like they did it on purpose.
Kind of like it's weird. It's really strange.
And if you're driving around, I'm sure you can figure out what word they put instead of Penix. But if you want to see the video, it's everywhere, and you'll get your laugh.
Here's about why Taylor is so good, Chris.
Okay.
Nate says, I have Swifties in my house. Her music is good, emotional, and she is non-controversial.
Okay, I like to hear that's a good explanation. And I can use a little non-controversial in this world. We have enough controversy.
Yes. Her music is all about breakups.
Parents, I will say from what I've heard, parents love the fact that their kids love her. So that kind of, doubles it up. She appeals to the younger crowd, but the parents are happy to have her appealing to their kids.
Yes, that is.
I don't know if I explained that.
No. I get what you're saying. It's good to have someone to look up to that you appreciate.
Instead of your kid being a big, for lack of a better example, but if you're a big Kanye West fan, that's your business. But I'm also going to tell you, probably not too many parents are thrilled to hear that.
The commenter on the chat said non-controversial, but now we're getting some pushback on the controversy.
Oh, no.
She is kind of controversial.
Oh, now she's controversial.
I mean, there are things that she, has put out there, but it's. I don't think she's been controversial to the point where it's like going to split the country. Anyway, next story. Emma Raducanu,
one of my favorite tennis players.
Yes.
Won the U.S. Open at a very young age.
Okay.
At the age of 20, and in 2021, I think she was 18 or 19 years old when she won it.
Okay.
She has not been the same since. She's been battling a lot of injuries the last 4 or 5 years. And she's kind of top 30 now, but she's not tip top.
She was playing world number 1 Arena Sabalenka the other day in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And it has caused a controversy over what is allowed at a sports stadium because she was very upset.
Wait a minute, was she upset at a noise? Was the lady from the San Francisco Giant Padre game up there screaming?
She was very upset because there was a baby crying in the stands. And so she went over to the chair umpire and she said, it's been like 10 minutes. The umpire's response is what caused controversy, which I don't really see the controversy.
I applaud the chair umpire.
The chair umpire said, quote, it's a child. Do you want me to send that child out of the stadium? End quote. She shrugged and she just, moved along. But she made kind of a big deal about this. So now the conversation is, should babies be at sporting events? And I don't have a baby, but I've seen babies at sporting events. And for the most part, I know if I had a baby with me and they were crying, I would go somewhere else. I wouldn't be in the playing area with a crying baby.
I think that's really poor parenting. I will say that. I mean, parents bring their screaming kids to a movie. It happens. And if the kid starts crying, you better get out of that theater, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you can't blame the baby.
When I was
the
little,
parents for bringing them. Parents who bring their babies to a nice restaurant or any restaurant, and we all have to hear your baby crying. It's a little similar to the controversy we talked about the other day, Skrabe. You got to know, you got to read the room. You got to be respectful to the other people.
Yeah, I agree with that. As a kid, my parents used to take, because I'm the oldest and I have a brother and a sister, and they would take them out of a restaurant or go into the hallway of somewhere. And I've seen people do this, but I mean, you got to be a little bit tougher than this. You got to be a little bit tougher, Chris, than complaining about a baby crying.
I'm
a professional athlete.
I know, but I'm not defending Emma because you're right. They should be able to play through, some noise. But you also know that any professional golfer is stopping everything they do if somebody even sneezes in the crowd.
I get it. I get it. I think, is tennis a sport where you're asked to be quiet during that?
You hear the chair umpire oftentimes. Quiet, please.
Okay, you're right. I do.
So, they want them quiet.
Someone else was defending here saying, why is a child at a tennis match in 91-degree weather and 50% humidity to begin with? I mean, in general, it makes no sense because it's a sport you have to be quiet during points, but especially in this heat. I am not going to defend her at all. She's got to be tougher.
You're not going to defend Emma?
Okay. You got to be a little bit tougher.
Fair enough.
Damar Hamlin. He was the football player who died on the field 3 years ago now at this point.
It was January
2023. So 2 years ago, almost 3 years.
Okay.
And he got a big tattoo on his back, kind of honoring is a weird word. Remembering the incident. So it's like it has him. When he woke up, his first question apparently was, did we win the game? And so he has that tattooed on him. He also has Pray for Damar. He's got a lot of things from that night on his back. And it's a full back tattoo. So,
if you want to see a lot more with Damar, watch the Hard Knocks from this week. He's really quite a remarkable guy, I think, based on the way he was presented in Hard Knocks the other night. Very, very thankful for everything that he still has, and thankful to the people who gave him that opportunity to continue living.
Yeah, I mean,
he certainly hasn't forgotten about what happened with him. And, people may not know, but he's starting and playing, and he's a guy now.
Yes.
In the NFL. He's a regular guy for them.
Remember when people were like, he should never play again?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's another one, and I will take any chance I can get to tell people, do not fight at sporting events. Last night, there was a fight between a Dodger and an Angel fan. And who do you think was the aggressor in this whole thing, Chris?
Oh, the way you're setting it up, I'm going to say the Dodger fan.
Dodger fan was kicked the guy in the head. Kicked him in the head. And he did it on video. So this person is going to be in trouble. It appears the fight started over a stealing of the hat. They're not really saying who stole what, but one was booked on misdemeanor assault, while the other, who they say was the primary attacker. Here's where I'm happy with the police here, Chris.
Okay.
They have hit this person. The guy kicked him in the head with a felony assault charge, which I think these penalties need to be stricter and stricter and stricter, because going to games these days, you can get caught up in one of these fights. You can, be an innocent bystander, get punched in the face.
If you're starting the fight, look, in a perfect world, we would round up everybody and we'd toss them all in. And I understand, I don't want to even go political, so I'm not heading in that direction. I'm just honestly saying something here that you hear a lot. We don't have room for every criminal, right? You hear this, right? Okay, so I'm not trying to be political here, so please don't take me that way. But I also agree that I would love to start really cracking down. You want to get me going on, Myles Garrett, the fact that he's out practicing and not behind bars with 8 speeding tickets is insane to me. I don't care who he is or how much money he can pay off, and these kinds of
people. It was a $250 ticket, which is also insane to me. You're driving 100 miles an hour and it's a ticket for $250?
Goodness gracious. But people who start a fight and kick people in the head at a baseball game. And if you got the video, can we lock up the key for a while?
Yes.
Let's.
You should not be able to get away with kicking someone in the head, no matter who started it.
Let me say this. The guys at Yankee Stadium, was it last year? I think it was. The guys at Yankee Stadium last year who caught the foul ball and pulled Mookie Betts into the stands.
in the World Series.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they were told they can't have tickets ever again, right?
Yes, and they're very upset and apologetic.
Okay. Well, if you start a fight at a baseball game and it's on video and we see you start it, how about revoking their tickets for life too?
I don't.
Is what the guys did down the right field line worse?
I
than
don't
starting a fight and kicking somebody in the head or whatever.
No,
we've seen so many of these fights on the videos. It's really it's frightening, actually.
I think they're equally bad because one, you're grabbing a player and you are potentially going to hurt that player if, say, Mookie Betts fell or something and his arm was up there. But this is so dangerous because the guy gets clocked in the face and he falls backwards and then the guy kicks him. It's just it drives me insane, these fights, and it makes me never want to take my nieces or nephew to a game
that way. There are
because
people
I
who
do
feel
not
that
want
way.
them to see that whatsoever.
Just end it with these people. You catch them.
End
it in terms of saying you're not coming into a stadium anymore. One time. You don't even need a second chance on that. Start a fight. Do something like that. That's it.
If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. I also find, this is kind of a side note, Chris, I also find the aftermath of the passing of Hulk Hogan to be very sad because, his family is broken. And it was broken before he passed away. But you see a lot of articles all about the family. Just leave them alone, please. Leave them alone.
I would agree with you, but from what I saw on one of my favorite shows, TMZ, Brooke Hogan, his daughter, wanted to come on and do a whole 15, 20-minute expose interview about everything she wanted to get off her chest.
Okay.
So it's not like the Hogan clan is backing away from the coverage.
No, they're not backing away from the coverage at all.
That's another part of it.
Yeah, it's very sad that everything...
Taylor Swift, though, did reveal.
Oh, gosh.
Well, she revealed her album cover and the whole thing, Life of a Showgirl. Everybody knows that's the new one. She also said on the podcast yesterday, quote, "I knew nothing about football before dating Travis."
Oh, this is just the cutest story of all time, Chris. Two very rich people getting together.
Why does this bother you? Rich people deserve to be happy and date and, go out.
They do, and they seem happy together. They really do. They look like they actually care about each other, which is refreshing.
And that beats out a whole lot of other relationships we read about.
It does.
Does it not?
I just do not care about any of this. And she did make a funny joke. She was like, "I came on the podcast because NFL fans need to see more of me," and which is kind of funny.
That is cute.
Yeah.
Good job,
Cute.
Taylor. Good job. She's starting to win me over. She has a long way to go. And the first time they show her at the football Chief game this fall,
Chris versus it's 833-288-0973. I just
game 6.
in hour number 3, which is the final hour of the show today. This hour, 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by Staples. Calling all parents and teachers out there. School starting. Staples, your back-to-school budget is officially saved by the button, the easy button, with supplies as low as 25 cents, plus laptops up to 40% off and more deals on top brands and trending styles. Find it all at Staples. Whew. That was easy. You like how I did that?
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, here's what's up in the 4 o'clock hour. We got Chris vs. the Fans coming up here shortly. We're going to give away the usual chance to go to Las Vegas. Also, Michael King bobblehead doll will be up for grabs. If you win the bobblehead doll, that means you'll get to see at least a facsimile of Michael King. We're not going to see the real one. News of the day, Padres placing Michael King back on the injured list.
Oh, my. This should have hit me earlier. His he said he was going to be there for his bobblehead day.
Well, I bet he'll be there. He's
not
going
to be in uniform.
Right. He won't be playing. He'll be on the injured list from now until at least August 26th. Randy Vasquez has been recalled, but Jeff Sanders of the Union Tribune reporting that the starting pitcher for tomorrow night's game in LA is still officially TBD.
Correct.
To be determined.
Correct.
Skraby and I were surmising that it'll be Vasquez, but the Padres have not made an announcement on that yet.
Correct.
Also coming up in this hour, if you missed it earlier, it's been an all-day thing. It started on the Roundtable. It continued on our show. You'll hear it again or more on the Roundtable later. But is Fernando Tatis Jr. really better than Manny Machado the way the WAR statistics says he is? ESPN has jumped in with its rankings of the top 50 players in baseball right now. We'll find out. Do they put Fernando ahead of Manny in those rankings? That's coming up.
That list is a little annoying to me.
Well, you can discuss your annoyance when we get to it.
Okay.
Also, the Big Five in this hour.
Yes.
So stick around for all that. At 5 o'clock, it'll be the replay of the Roundtable, an hour of commercial-free Padre talk. 6 o'clock, Skraby takes over with the Chronicles. Tomorrow, one last note, and this is the biggie. Skraby and I broadcasting live tomorrow, 2 to 6 at Islands and Carmel Mountain Ranch, just off the 15 freeway. East from Carmel Mountain exit.
I don't know why you keep giving people directions when we live in the world.
You're right. I know. I'm going back to
Chris,
the
like
old
it's
days.
On page number 75 of your Thomas Guide.
Go to page 75 of the Thomas Guide. All right, fine. I'm not going to help you. Find your own way to Islands. We'll see you there tomorrow.
I'm a little nervous making fun of you now that I found out your wife Lori was not happy with my Twitter comment earlier today about Chris put out this tweet that had a lot of great numbers in it, but I know Chris and he is very thorough, and I knew that it took him at least 20 minutes to tweet that out. And apparently your wife was not, meticulous. Your wife was not happy with that.
It wasn't
comment.
the fact that you pointed out, it was the way you pointed it out. She was not happy with the way you termed it.
So you had a defender in the comments too.
I will also say thank you to those of you who checked the tweet out. It did get over 1,000 likes, Skraby. The second time ever that I've got over 1,000 likes on a tweet. So I'm excited about that. And now you can have a chance to get excited by a round of Chris versus the Fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. The rules. Well, actually, let me read the prize first.
Okay.
And it will go like this. You'll be qualified for the grand prize, a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas, plus VIP admission to IU Day Club and $175 food and beverage credit. Celebrate summer with a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas. Dine poolside at one of the 5 unique pool experiences in the 5.5-acre pool complex, the largest elevated pool deck on the Las Vegas Strip, and experience IU Day Club, a stunning oasis inspired by the idyllic islands of Southeast Anastasia, where the ultimate party concepts transform the weekend into a never-ending summer. Special summer rates available now at rwlasvegas.com, now offering no resort fees and complimentary parking. Also, you will win the Michael King bobblehead.
With the LeMay cape.
With the LeMay cape.
The gold
Yes.
LeMay cape.
Yes. There are two things, you said something a long, long time ago, and you said it was the Loge section of Petco Park, and I made fun of you, and then I really did find out it was called, called it the Lodge section forever.
Oh, you did? L-O-D-G-E? Yeah, you called it the Lodge section.
I've never heard Loge in my life until you said that, and that was correct.
I was. Yeah, I hit one every now and again.
And then the LeMay, you got that one too. Okay. The rules, you have to make it through 3 questions.
It's been that long since I've gotten anything right. Like going back 6 years, I finally got a second one.
Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you will get that question for free. I'm doing a random number generator to figure out who to pick today.
Okay.
And the first one is going to be Cameron in San Marcos. Hello, Cameron.
Hey, San Marcos.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good to hear from you there, Cameron.
The Michael King bobblehead giveaway has anything to do with the injury?
Oh,
that would be it sounds like a conscrabacy to me.
It does sound like a conscrabacy.
You can discuss it with the 6 p.m. host.
Oh, his sore knee was done because he was posing so much in that heavy gear that he had on for the bobblehead. So,
yeah. You guys can,
guys
can figure that out.
That was a bad joke. All right,
you guys figure that out.
Are you ready to play?
Heavy as the crown. Heavy as the crown.
Yes,
hey,
exactly.
Very good. There you go.
All right. Question number 1.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Tim Lincecum won 2 Cy Young Awards with what team?
Oh, I mean, it's my initial favorite. I mean, that is my guy, the San Francisco Giants.
Tim Lincecum.
That is
Pretty
correct.
good. Well, I think didn't he pitch like 2
Let
no-hitters?
Timmy smoke.
I think he pitched 2 no. Yeah, he did smoke a lot.
That was a saying up there.
Yeah. I think he pitched 2 no-hitters against the Padres.
I know he pitched at least one against the Padres.
I know one, maybe 2. He had the Padres.
You know who Tony says is one of the hardest guys to face was Tim Lincecum.
Oh, yeah. He hit the ball.
He hit the ball until the last possible second.
And then it was on you quickly.
Oh, someone's saying you're correct. It was 2 no-hitters against the Giants or the Padres.
Yeah. No, Tim Lincecum he was tough on us.
He was. And then he just fell off the face of the earth after his Cy Youngs. Well, he wasn't even a thing in the 2014 World Series.
I only had 10 seasons in the big leagues.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Won the Cy Youngs early in his career, though, 08 and 09. Go ahead.
All right.
That was a win for Cameron there.
2.
On to number 2.
Since this is a second question, I need 2 answers. Which 2 NFL teams have won the most games since 2020?
Which 2 NFL teams since 2020? Skraby, a tough one, I think.
Got to be the Chiefs.
Okay.
I would think the Chiefs would have to be one, yeah. I'm going to agree with you there. The other one could be a little tougher to get. We'll see. Cameron thinking it through.
I want to say, I guess I'll go Eagles.
Goes Eagles.
Rawr! Stay there.
I'm not going to think of this as too deeply. First one that came to mind was Ravens. I don't know. Another caw.
Yes. And? You need 2.
Oh, Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chiefs. Oh,
you are still alive, Cameron.
Good for
it's
you,
actually,
Cameron.
If you think about it, they've played a lot. Chiefs and Bills have won the most games since 2020.
Yeah, Dolphins have certainly contributed to that.
to their win total?
Yes, to the Bills win total. All right, very good, Cameron. You stay alive there. I didn't think it through too clearly there.
Here we go. Question number 3.
Tim Lincecum, by the way, 18-6, 2.20 career against the Friars.
18-6?
2.20.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't get much on.
And we had Madison Bumgarner back then in 2014, so we didn't need Lincecum.
That's true. Madison Bumgarner.
Wait a minute, Cameron. Are you on our show saying that we didn't need him, referring to the Giants?
Mad Bum.
Jeez,
he basically
Cameron.
pitched every inning of that World Series. So
yeah, he did.
All right. Here's question number 3.
Or the title.
What 2-time manager of the year also played in the Little League World Series? Now, this manager is active. He is currently a manager of a team in Major League Baseball right now. What 2-time manager of the year also played in the Little League World Series?
Do we get to know how long the Little League World Series has been going on?
Since like 1849.
The beginning of time, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on a while. But this
okay.
manager is active.
Okay.
The manager's active. He played apparently in the Little League World Series.
And he's won manager of the year twice.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a
hint.
Yes, it is. Got to find somebody who's won 2 of these things.
2 World Series and the Little League World Series.
2 times manager.
No. They never. No, it wasn't.
2-time manager of the year.
And then they played in the Little League
in the
World
World
Series.
Series before coming to Major League Baseball. But this guy's been 2 times manager of the year.
2-time manager of the year.
Yeah.
God, I'd love it if it was like Bruce Bochy, but I'm gonna
Couldn't even answer.
Say
Sorry,
You gave him,
I
ran
gave
out
you.
of time. You gave him time.
Stay there though, just in case.
Yeah, it's hard to come up with somebody that won 2. I was going to say Bob Melvin, but I think he's maybe even won 3.
He's a terrible manager, by the way.
He just, I love Bob Melvin, but it doesn't look like he was a Little League player to me. I think Terry Francona.
He doesn't look like a Little League player.
Well, Bob Melvin played in the bigs. He was a catcher.
He did.
I would try Terry Francona, but I don't know how many managers' years he's won. He seems like a guy who would have played in a Little League World Series, though. Terry Francona is my answer.
Wow!
Woo-hoo!
Cameron
with a win. Wait a minute. All right, now I got to think.
You're going to kick yourself.
I am?
You just don't think about this team ever.
All right. Go ahead. Just tell me then.
Kevin Cash of the Rays.
Oh, geez. I didn't even know he won any manager of the year.
Are you kidding me? He was always manager.
He took Blake Snell out of the game. He should give back all manager of the year awards for that mistake alone.
For that mistake alone.
Cameron, stay on the line, man. You hit the prize today. You'll get the bobblehead. You'll get to go, have a chance to go to Las Vegas. While you're celebrating all of that with Skraby, we'll check some traffic and then come back and find out whether ESPN agrees with WAR and says that Fernando is better than Manny. More coming up. Gwynn Jr.'s idol. He and the rest of us getting ready for the big game tomorrow night in L.A. Michael King, not so much. King was due to start for the Padres tomorrow night. Won't happen. Put on the injured list. Padres announced it about 3 o'clock today. Randy Vasquez has been recalled, but Padres have not officially announced who will start the game tomorrow night against Kershaw. We do know this. The Padres will go into the game with a 1-game lead in the National League West. And we didn't really make a big deal of that today, Skraby. We did yesterday.
Yeah.
But this is amazing. They were 9 games back on July 4th. I don't think this was something we even had in the back of our minds at that point.
No.
And this also doesn't happen all the time. It's the first time in 15 years that the Padres have been in first place in mid-August. The center fielder on that team was him.
Tony Gwynn Jr.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
And we talk about it on the roundtable. You hear the whole thing at 5 o'clock, but how should we think about this? I'd say we should enjoy it and expect it to continue. Doesn't matter if you expect it to continue. It's either going to or not.
Yep.
But you might as well be confident about it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are out there right now, and you might be one of them who's like, it's the Padres. I'm waiting for something bad to happen.
I know many of those people.
Yeah. I don't think that's the right way to think.
It's a new year. It's a new team.
None of these guys have anything to do with any of the other previous 54 or 55 San Diego Padre ball clubs. This is a whole new squad.
Do you think that guys, when they're coming here in free agency, they're like, I don't know. They have that
Padres never won.
Padres curse.
What am I doing?
I don't know if I could be on the Padres curse team.
Yeah, and now that Michael King's hurt,
Padres cursed.
There you go. All right. ESPN took a moment to rate the top 50 players in baseball. Now, they use their 17 experts, whoever those guys might be, or guys and gals, to rate the top 50. And we came into it by wondering, well, do they really rate Fernando as a better player than Manny? That's what WAR says. That's not what I say. And we've been having this argument all day. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. I will suffice to say, though, that of the top 50 in baseball, there are only 2 Padres. Only 2.
Oh.
I'll be honest with you. That surprises me in and itself.
Pitchers are included in this, I'm assuming?
Of course.
Wow.
Now I'm going to give you just a quick rundown. Here are the 50 players by position. Makes it a little easier to keep in mind. The pitchers are Skubal, Skeens, Zach Wheeler, Crochet, Christopher Sanchez, quite high, Hunter Brown, Astros, Yamamoto, think a little high, but okay, Framber Valdez, Max Fried, Joe Ryan, Logan Webb, Evaldi, DeGrom, Matthew Boyd of the Cubs, who's had a great year. Those are all the pitchers. There are no relief pitchers. 0 among the top 50. I think the Padres would beg to differ. We're happy to have our guys, none of whom you think are worthy. 2 catchers.
Dumper's one of them.
The Dumper's got to be one. The other one makes us feel that way. Will Smith, not our favorite. First base, Vlad, Bryce Harper.
Can't be Freddie.
Freddie Freeman's in there, top 50.
He's
struggled. The World Series MVP, reigning him. He's still a hell of a player. Pete Alonso, and a guy you'll like to hear about, Nick Kurtz of the A's.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a surprise.
Well, he hasn't hit a home run since the 4 home run game.
Second base, there's only one guy in the top 50.
Okay, let me.
You want to try to guess that? NL. One second baseman made the list of the top 50.
Well, it wasn't Jake Cronenworth.
It's not Jake. Although, Ben brought this up today, and I didn't really thought of it. Jake's got an 18-game on-base streak right now, which coincides with the 14-3 stretch the Padres are in.
That was a good
Jake's
point.
been doing okay.
I think I got it.
Who?
Ketel Marte?
Correct.
Okay.
Very good. You did get it. Shortstops, there's a bunch of those. Bobby Witt Jr., Ellie De La Cruz, Pena, the Astros, Lindor, Gunnar Henderson, Trey Turner, Corey Seager. Can't ever look at that name the same.
No, me neither.
Bo Bichette, and also Perdomo, which I think is a bit of a surprise.
Do you think that
Perdomo's good, but I wouldn't put him top 50 yet.
He's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think top 50.
I don't think so.
Francisco Lindor. Is he another one of those guys you just have to include on the list because he's a name? Because he's not had a good year.
No.
He's hitting 245 this year. His OPS plus is 112.
Frank said that he's got a broken foot and he's playing through it.
Frank.
Well, just saying. Third base.
But does he deserve to be in the top 50?
You know what? That's a fair question. I think he's ahead of Perdomo.
Yes.
But, you could make a case, I guess. Third base, the clear best third baseman in all of baseball, who nobody ever mentions, but we will, Jose Ramirez. He's on there. Manny made it.
Of course, okay.
Eugenio Suarez, Alec Bregman, Matt Chapman.
Okay, let me ask you about this.
Okay.
I got into a big argument over the weekend with a Giants friend.
Okay.
They're saying that Matt Chapman is by far and away better than Manny Machado, and I cannot get behind that. Matt Chapman's very good.
Matt Chapman's won Gold Glove.
Yes.
Or a couple of them. Made a great play yesterday. I don't see him enough to compare him to Manny, but I get the everyday appreciation of Manny, and it's hard for me to want to trade him for anybody.
Yeah.
And you're talking defense, because offense right now, Manny's got it.
Yes.
All right, right field, I'll try to get through this. Aaron Judge, obvious. Kyle Tucker, who started fast but really hasn't been that great lately. Juan Soto, Fernando is in there, so he's the second Padre. Corbin Carroll and George Springer. Center field, PCA, who has slumped miserably after a great first half. Julio Rodriguez and Brian Buxton. Left field, how about this? Kyle Stowers. Christian High's own Kyle Stowers makes the top 50, along with James Wood. Padres don't want to hear that. And Bellinger. All right, there's your the other two I left. You haven't heard their names yet. 2 DHs, Shohei, Schwarber. Okay, there's your 50. So now the question is, who's higher, Fernando or Manny? And again,
how did they base this list?
Well,
I'll tell you exactly what it's.
Okay, I'll read what they wrote, and then you'll have this. It says our least okay. Wait, sorry.
Blah 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 blah.
Who's the best player in 2025? We asked our experts give their ranking, top 50. We averaged those lists to create our first in-season update. It doesn't say what they're basing.
So it's not on WAR.
Yeah, it's so who's number one? Who's the best player to go with our updated rankings? What they've done? Yeah, it doesn't say what their criteria.
So these people are ranking them on their feel, and then they're averaging.
I think their feel and what they've done this year. I'll give you the top 10. Judge number 1, Shohei, Scooble 3, Dumper 4. I just love that name. I think everybody else does too. Bobby Witt Jr., Paul Skeens 6. Pete Crow Armstrong 7.
7?
Yeah, I agree. He's been slipping.
7?
Jose Ramirez, deserve it. I'm glad to see him get some
PCA over
respect.
Jose Ramirez?
Zach Wheeler 9, Garrett Crochet 10.
You're telling me that PCA is better than Zach Wheeler and Garrett Crochet?
I would say the PCA has been most of the year.
He has,
not
you're right.
recently.
You're
not
right.
Recently.
He's fallen off a bit.
All right, so we have time for one more question on this subject. Who rates higher? Manny, the clear MVP of the Padres, or Fernando, the WAR champion of the Padres?
I'm going to think, based on non-WAR, they're going to go with Manny.
They're going to put Manny ahead of him.
Yeah.
They didn't. Fernando, number 13, says he hasn't reached his offensive heights from before the injury and suspension, but his off-the-charts defensive metrics have helped him to one of the highest WAR totals in the NL. So they did use it there. Says he leads all right fielders with 16 defensive runs saved. He's already drawn a career high in walks, giving him a high on base, also cutting down his strikeouts. So they're pretty Fernando bullish. Manny comes in 4 spots behind him at number 17.
All right, top 20.
Yeah, both are in the top 20. It says if Manny never played another game, he would have already done enough to get elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. 7 All-Stars, 2 Gold Gloves, 2,000 hits, closing in on 400 home runs.
That has nothing to do with this season, but okay.
Well, he's having a great season. And
who's in the MVP conversation? Manny.
I think so.
It's a good fight to have, though.
The defensive metrics is great.
Who's better?
I'm not going to argue. Fernando's great on defense. So's Manny, despite the errors. And just one more thing on the defensive metrics. Defensive metrics say that Jake is one of the worst second basemen in baseball.
Yeah.
That's what they say. But if you watch the games like I do, I don't see how you can agree with that. Jake makes a lot of great plays.
Sure does.
All right, we'll take a break. Big Five's next on Gwynn and Chris. Marlins Restaurant, Carmel Mountain Ranch. I would give you directions, but Skraby thinks I'm wasting my time. You can find it on your own. We'll be there from 2 to 6. We have good prizes to give away, including a Fernando autographed baseball. Big Five in a moment. I got to do this quick. ESPN also giving out its awards with a month and a half to go in the season. Here's where things stand. NL Manager of the Year, pretty clear. Pat Murphy, Brewers. He's going to win it for the second year in a row.
Man, the Padres let him get away too, huh?
They did, but we got second half Shildt, baby.
Second half Shildt.
Mike is fourth right now behind also. I wouldn't put him behind Oliver Marmol of the Cardinals.
What?
Yeah, Clayton McCullough, the Marlins, I can see some love for him. He's done miracles with that team. National League Rookie of the Year frontrunner Isaac Collins of the Brewers. This is a given. He's considered one of the best players in the league. He's only a rookie. Jacob Marcy has done so well in 2 weeks that he even got a mention here.
Really?
Yeah. Cy Young in the National League. You're going to be mad.
Paul Skeens?
Yeah, Paul Skeens.
I'm not going to be mad because I'm over that whole thing.
Okay. Sanchez and Wheeler, the two Phillies. Andrew Abbott of the Reds, who has been quite good. I'm glad to see that at least they mentioned Nick Pivetta fifth.
Yeah.
Here's the one
he's being overlooked for whatever reason.
Yeah. Here's the one that I'm going to go crazy, and I'm glad we only have 20 minutes left in the show because I'd rail against this for the rest of the show if I could.
A big old harangue.
Shohei, number 1, NL MVP. Number 2, PCA. Again, he's fallen bad, and they mentioned that here. Number 4, Kyle Tucker has also fallen bad. Oh, I forgot to tell you number 3. Fernando Tatis Jr.
In the MVP conversation?
NL MVP. Fernando, third.
I know his defense has been amazing, but
that good? Number 10, Trey Turner. I mentioned that because Manny isn't even in the top 10.
Wow. That's kind of wild.
I guess I'm wrong. I have to admit it.
Finally.
Fernando is just way better than Manny. Everyone says so. But it is going to be funny when Manny walks up and grabs the Padre MVP award from the greatest player the game has ever seen, Fernando. It sounds bad now because it sounds like I'm putting down Fernando, and I don't mean to. I'm not. He's just hasn't been as good as Manny this year, and I just don't see the argument.
I want to see where Manny is in the race now for the batting title.
He's still top 10-ish.
He's still top 10-ish? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 11th. He's 11th. 296 in all of baseball.
Right, he's 11th in all of baseball.
Will
National
Smith
League
is
is
now
probably a little closer.
312.
Yeah, Smith's coming back. We'll see.
Yeah.
Arise still has a chance to win it as well. Let's go to the Big Five after one last check of traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Looks like double trouble on southbound 15. Got a crash just past the 52. It's over to the right shoulder. Then just up ahead past Claremont Mesa Boulevard. Another collision. This one is in the center divide. Also traveling on southbound 5 before the 54. Accident has been cleared over to the right shoulder. South 125 before Hamashaw. A collision over to the right shoulder. And in the North County, northbound 15 before Villa Rancho Parkway. Accident blocking the 2 left lanes. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
You want to know how I know Manny is very good, Chris? Because I was just watching. We have the Marlins Jacob Marcy is up if anybody cares. But we have the Marlins and Guardians on TV. Jose Ramirez went to make one of those Manny plays where he throws off of his back foot, falling away from the foul line. Jose Ramirez is a very good fielder, but he threw it about 10 feet wide. So Manny throws it right at the chest.
Most times
he does. All right, let's get into the Big Five.
Number 5.
And the first one, I came across an article listing the top 6 underrated players that are going to help their teams in the playoffs. Ramon Laureano was one of them. Here's what the article said. Quote, if Laureano can sustain his performance, he'll go down as one of the biggest positional upgrades any team made at the trade deadline, considering the black hole that was the Padres' left field situation before he arrived. Through the end of July, only 4 teams got less production from their left fielders than the Padres. In August, San Diego ranks 4th with a 159 WRC plus in left, including a 149 WRC plus from Laureano over 44 plate appearances at the position, end quote. I know I threw a lot of numbers at you, but here we go, Chris. Was left field really a black hole before Top Ramon's addition to the team?
Black hole? No, because Gavin Sheets played
That's
some
what
there.
I was thinking. This, okay, I'll wait.
But Ramon's been a big upgrade, and it's, as we've said, it's lengthened the whole lineup, right? And Sheets could DH now and bat 7th or 8th. You got O'Hearn doing that. I don't know that the biggest black hole filled, though, might not have been by the Padres. It just might have been at catcher, where Fermin doesn't allow me to go make a sandwich when he comes up, as opposed to what Diaz and Maldonado were doing, which was pretty much nothing. I think that might be even a bigger upgrade than Top Ramon. So that's
yeah. I think this is one of those things where a reporter looks at numbers and just sees the number switch and is like, oh, here we go. Ramon Laureano, he's got Gavin Sheets was not a black hole. He produced enough to the point where, I mean, I guess he didn't produce enough, right? They went out and got someone. But in the end, I don't think black hole is the way you could describe the left field position.
I don't think they were dying to replace Gavin Sheets. I just think they had the opportunity to get better, and so they took it.
And they took it, yes. All right.
Number 4.
We just talked about MVPs, but the NL MVP race has lots of names. The AL MVP race only has 2 names, really. Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh. Since 2009, only 2 catchers have won MVP, Joe Mauer in 2009 and Buster Posey in 2012. Coming into today, Aaron Judge is hitting .337. He has a .210 OPS plus. He's got 38 home runs, 88 RBIs, and he's got a 6.7 WAR. Raleigh is hitting .245 with a 165 OPS plus. He's got 45 home runs, 98 RBIs, and he's got a 5.2 WAR. I'm up first. Who is your AL MVP up to this point?
You only get 1 vote, Skraby. Who are you going with?
I got to go with Aaron Judge.
Okay.
The definition of MVP is most valuable player. You take Aaron Judge off of the Yankees, they are fading into the darkness.
They already did fade into the darkness when he was out, and now he's back.
And now he's back, and they're kind of making their way out of the hole they created. But Cal Raleigh's on a really good team, and he might lose out on an MVP because of his team being so good. But I know that they don't ever vote that way, or they usually don't vote that way. To me, the most valuable player is Aaron Judge. Chris.
I think they're going to vote for Aaron Judge because he plays in New York. But Cal Raleigh, to me, is the clear winner. Here's why. A, because I want to say big dumper. B, because he's doing something historical behind the plate. The all-time record for most home runs ever by any catcher in a season is 48. He has a shot to be the first ever catcher to hit 50.
Definitely.
He also has a chance to be the all-time record holder for a switch hitter. And if that's not enough, he's the catcher for one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. That should count for something.
Yeah.
Shows up every day and squats down there and calls pitches.
He puts his dumper on the ground.
I think Cal Raleigh's, going to get overlooked because it's Judge, but I would vote for Cal Raleigh.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't hate it if Cal Raleigh won.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, the big dumper being put on the MVP trophy, that would be great.
Number 3.
Shedeur Sanders' NFL preseason debut on Friday against the Panthers garnered 2.237 million viewers, making it one of the most watched NFL Network preseason games since 2015. Sanders ended up throwing for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns in the Browns' victory. Chris, why do you think so many people watched
the game?
Yeah. Why do you think this is one of the highest?
I think people like to see Kevin Stefanski coach, don't
you?
Yeah,
that's what they're tuning in for.
What are you asking me for? Of course, they want to see Shedeur Sanders. He's
Shedeur Saunders.
Saunders. He's a draw. Like him or hate him, Dion draws interest, and his son is going to do the same. I'm good with it.
I think
I'm good with it. You don't have to watch.
No,
I didn't.
No,
because it is a preseason game, and the fact he threw 2 touchdowns doesn't really mean that much to me. But it's something to look. If you're a football fan, you're looking for almost anything that you can, glom onto in the preseason, right?
I think that at least combined with Shedeur Sanders is why. I mean, I looked for what he did on Friday night. I wanted to see what he was able to do in his preseason game. But 2.237 million viewers is a lot of viewers for a preseason game. But I think some of it was what you just said. Football's back. Let's watch some football.
Number 2.
Odell Beckham Jr. is not done yet, Chris. The 32-year-old wide receiver, despite recent fake retirement reports, he got caught on a fake report. It was someone was trying to be Adam Schefter, but you could clearly see in the handle it was Adam Scheffler. And so it said. It basically said Odell Beckham Jr. is retiring, blah, blah, blah. Odell saw it, and he said, news to me on the bottom. And so he came out and he said that, hey, I am going to play this year. He's not retired. He wants to play. He is known for, great highlights and all that stuff. But I don't know that he's still drawing interest despite not playing a full season in 6 years. So I'm up first. Does he still have something in the tank? I hate to tell someone they don't. I don't think he has anything left in the tank. I saw him last year. Chris can tell you all about it because he was a Dolphin. But Odell, I think he had, 9 catches last year? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't see him helping a team anymore, Chris.
The Dolphins just should have just given me the $1 million. He did as much as I did. He was totally useless. He made his catch, the one-handed one, in 2016.
That's crazy. It was that
so
long
we're
ago.
going back 9 years. He's not done anything since helping the Rams. A very minor help, but they did win the Super Bowl, and he helped.
He was going to be the Super Bowl MVP before he got hurt.
He helped in that game, but I see nothing there. So I don't even think he'll be picked up.
I don't think
whether
so
he wants to be or not. I don't see it.
Yeah,
unless some team will maybe get 2 or 3 big name injuries, and they'll say, "Okay, we're bringing Odell to try to make it look good," but I don't see he's got much.
Yeah, he's not going to go start on any team this year.
I don't think.
Have you ever heard of Philip Beard Stadium, Chris?
Which one?
Philip Beard Stadium.
Nope.
All right. Well, the reason you probably haven't heard of it is because it is the home to the Buford Wolves High School football team in Georgia. It's a $62 million stadium that they are opening. It's 10,000 seats. It has a luxurious high school scoreboard, has 1,500 premium seats, 15 suites, again, a large video board, and about 10,000 square feet of event space for a high school.
The Pop Warner team? Oh,
yeah.
High school. Okay.
Now, Buford is a football powerhouse. They have a lot of state championships. They have NFL-bound players. They think that they need this. City manager Brian Curlin stated the stadium was funded by General City Fund. So the city built this.
Okay.
And with no impact on teacher salaries or educational resources, I call lie on that. However, the money could have been potentially used for other city needs. So, Chris, do high schools need $62 million stadiums?
Probably not. But I'm in awe of Buford, Georgia. 17,000 residents able to get something done that our myopic 3.5 million residents couldn't figure out a way to agree on. They have a 62,000 seat stadium?
No, 10,000, but
62
million is what it cost.
I'm jealous. I wish we had one. You bring up stadium, this is all I think of. is that we don't have an NFL football
You don't
stadium.
think
And
like
it just
me?
makes me mad that our leadership and us couldn't do it, and we blame it all on Spanos. And while they deserve a ton of blame, we should have just put it aside and got our stadium so we could still have football here. Spanos isn't going to last forever. The fact that the Chargers aren't here is going to last forever. Don't get me started.
I won't.
Congratulations, Buford, Georgia.
I'm going to say shame on you, Buford, Georgia.
Okay.
Why? I don't understand this. I know that high school football is very important around the country, but
have you been to Texas and driven around on a Friday night?
It is insane. You're right. It is.
There
it
are
is
lights
crazy.
everywhere. There is traffic everywhere. There are people everywhere. High school football is huge. You know what? I will even say in San Diego, it's bigger than you think.
Oh,
like,
no,
you
I
don't
know
think it is.
No,
you don't have
I
a
know.
Kid,
I know.
Going, but I mean, you go around these high schools on a Friday night.
Chris, we've been to these. We've broadcasted from high school football games.
Yeah,
it is a big deal.
Thing.
But I don't think that high school kids need a $62 million football stadium. Spend money on something better than a $62 million football stadium.
What
does
Buford, Georgia got to spend it on?
I don't know.
What do you got?
I don't know. I don't have any good answers for that question. But the city put money into it. And I had read that this is a pretty affluent area of Georgia. So I don't know. It just bothers me for whatever reason.
You don't want anybody to have any money unless it's you.
No. That's not it. I just think that sometimes, when you go to high school, you need to work to get to the next level instead of being handed everything.
Stop looking at the kids so much. Look at the community. This is the one thing they all want to get behind and get involved in and all show up and have a great time every Friday night. What else are they going to build that will bring everybody in? A park?
Adam Paul says, Skraby, before you complain, you should see the school. Don't care about the school. I've been to Cathedral. I think that's ridiculous.
Wow.
Cathedral is like a movie studio.
Wow. Did you hear that,
school.
Cathedral? Did you hear that?
Wow. We've
Shame
been there.
on you people for having a nice school.
You said the same thing when we were there. You're like, wow, this is so nice. I can't believe it's a high school. It shouldn't be a high school. It should be a college.
I didn't say it shouldn't be. I said it's quite amazing that it's a high school. I went to Beverly Hills High. If anybody's going to be arrogant about their high school, it's going to be me.
Okay, Buford, Georgia, send us the $62 million and we can fix the potholes that we've been trying to fix forever, okay?
Wait a minute. Didn't we get those all fixed when we didn't get the stadium? I thought that was the deal.
That was the deal, but it didn't work out.
It did not.
The money went elsewhere, Chris. We don't know where it went.
No kidding.
And now they're charging $10 an hour downtown to park during Padres games.
You know what? I apologize to everyone who's in politics in our city, but our leadership is poor.
Jocelyn says, Braden's about to come in here and freak out on me.
I need somebody out there to take over the leadership in our city and do a better job with it, please.
I will do it. I will do it, Chris.
Please.
I'm not a San Diego City resident, though, so.
Well, Carlsbad should look nicer.
Carlsbad is very nice.
Okay.
And they don't have $62 million stadiums.
Well, they got
fixing the roads.
Hey, we went to Carlsbad High. It's pretty nice. It wasn't bad. La Costa Canyon isn't bad either, my friend.
Definitely is not. But it's not $62 million.
Stick around the Roundtable with a ton of Padres stuff, an hour commercial free, celebrating the new first place team in the NL West. Don't go anywhere after that because Skraby's got you. And then we're at Islands tomorrow. We'll see you at 2:00. Carmel Mountain Ranch. Be there and bring me some fries.
You'll get your fries.
Well, Dylan, I think the first obvious question: long hair, long beard. Have you had a shave since the last game of the season?
I don't think so.
Man,
I don't think so.
That's great.
Why is that?
Just changing it up. Why not?
Okay. All right. I'm jealous of the beard because I'm a guy who likes to grow a beard. But your beard, how long did that take to grow?
I think this is 3 months, maybe.
3 months.
Now,
okay.
is this going to stay as we get into spring? Are you going to keep it? Because I don't think I've ever seen you. I've seen the beard before. I don't think I've ever seen the hair.
No, I haven't had hair like this since I was 12. I'll probably keep it. We'll see how it performs, really.
That's the key.
That's
how does
thing.
it perform?
That's the biggest thing.
Speaking of perform, how you feeling, man? Obviously, spring training right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers report. This is the time of year where the green light goes on again.
Yeah, I feel good. Working on a bunch of different stuff. Biggest thing is really just getting the body to feel good and getting ramped up, but I feel like I'm on track.
How do you deal in terms of getting yourself ready each and every year? You know, ball players are notorious for always trying to figure out how to get a little bit better. You're probably one of the most consistent guys in our league. Is there as much a focus on finding ways to get better, or is the focus how to continue on the path that you've been on, which is a guy who can get in a lot of innings every year?
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what part of the offseason I'm in and, you know, what I'm trying to work on. Like specifically this offseason, I've made a little mechanical adjustment, tinkering with some new pitches. But the bulk of it is just getting my body ready, really. I mean, that's the main focus, main priority. So I kind of know where I need to be in terms of like my velocity and bullpens and building up and all that. So I always like to think I'm adding. I'm definitely working on new pitches and exciting stuff like that. So but at the end of the day, I kind of know that my four-seamer and my slider and my curveball are kind of going to be my main pitches. Right. So it's like no matter what, that's my base and foundation, and everything from there is just tinkering and just seeing if I can get a little bit better.
We're talking to... All of a sudden, my mic over there.
There you go.
Sorry. We're talking to Dylan Cease here,
Don't
Padres
panic.
starting pitcher. I wasn't panicking.
You look like you panicked.
I was panicking for one half.
He made me panic.
Did I look like I panicked?
You panicked a little bit, that's
all right. Well, Dylan says I panicked, and I panicked. I'm going to have to ask the question about, and I know you've been asked this today, but your name has been a part of a lot of trade rumors this year. I think Padres fans want you to stay here in San Diego. See, right there? How do you deal with that? Because I would imagine that would be hard.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's my second year in a row dealing with it, so I got experience now. It's just part of the business, I guess. Really, wherever I go, I'm gonna make the best of the opportunity. I love San Diego and I want to be here, so it's like if I don't go anywhere, I love it here. And if they trade me, then I just have to go make the best of it wherever I go.
Now, you talked a little bit about working on new pitches and mechanics. For you, how long does a mechanical change take to be something where you don't have to think about it anymore?
Yeah.
Listen up, Friar Faithful. 97.3 The Fans Padres Roundtable is on the air.
Unbelievable!
It's time to discuss everything going on with the Padres. The 97.3 The Fan crew is here for the most in-depth discussion on the Friars in our weekly Padres Roundtable, delivered by San Diego. Diego Roundtable Pizza. And now, here's your host, Ben Higgins.
Things are going well for your San Diego Padres, everybody. Welcome in to our 97.3 The Fan Padres Roundtable, presented by San Diego Roundtable Pizza. It really is pizza royalty. I'm looking down. I see an empty chair all the way on the left. Oh, Matt Skraby. Is he late? Where is he?
What's the deal?
I don't know.
These were optional.
I know Tony Gwynn Jr. has a family commitment today.
I know one thing Matt Skraby's not doing. Producing our afternoon show. Working extra hard.
Wow.
Right now.
Wow. All right. So, you know what? You work with what you
Oh, here he goes. He's off screen, but
can't get let in.
We should have locked the door.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Should have locked the door.
All right, and
What time's
eventually
the 10
Matt
o'clock
Skraby's right will be
No,
Stephen
no.
Woods.
Yeah.
Apart. Do you have an excuse? Do you have a good excuse?
I do,
Traffic?
actually.
Okay, tardy.
good.
Encinitas is construction on every single street.
It's insane.
A semi tried to get into a construction zone, it got stuck because it couldn't make the turn. So they had to do like a 9,000 point turn in a semi. So
nice.
All right. Well, how early would you have been without that?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Maybe
Okay.
maybe 20 is the plan next time. All right. Next to Matt Skraby is Stephen Woods.
Hi, Benji.
Paulie Reindl in the middle with Braden Soprenic. Chris Yellow here.
You took a couple of strays before you got here.
I'm sure I did.
Man, that was such like a disappointed dad right there. Like, hey, next time maybe you should leave a little bit earlier.
Well,
You're right, Dan. You're right.
I do have two boys of my own, so
Pretty sure Pete Carroll used to say, or still says, on time is late.
Correct. My rule as well.
So,
all right, let's start very simply and basically today. Padres are in first place for the first time in the second half of the season since 2010. Let's just begin, Chris, with your main takeaways from this 5-game winning streak. Your observations of what you've seen from the Padres this past week.
well, obviously, I'll leave all the congratulations and the plaudits to everybody else. They're playing great. 23-12, I think, since July 4th, which is a good run. It's not an incredible run. I think what nobody saw coming was the Dodgers going 12-21 and allowing us to make up 10 games. But, look, the trade deadline acquisitions have lengthened the lineup. It's pretty obvious. The bullpen is, even better than it already was. And they've scored 4 runs, I think, in 13 of the 17 games. They've only lost 1 of those. They score 4 runs. Go home. It's a great thing right now, and I just hope it holds up because there still is 6 weeks to go in the season. I get the feeling we sense the finish line, and it's really quite still a ways away.
Braden, we were just talking on our show. Obviously, there are going to be ups and downs from this point on, but this isn't simply just one of those up parts of the season. It is, but just compare it to the last time the Padres went to San Francisco. 4 one-run games, 2 one-run wins, 2 one-run losses. Now you go to San Francisco and 3 convincing wins. The Padres at least have the capability of doing that now. They don't have to eke out every single victory like they did in the first half of the season.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's 7, 8, 9 in the order that lengthened the lineup. Adding good solid major league bats to the lineup and getting that length and having guys like Jake Cronenworth bat in 7, 8, 9 spot. Freddie Fermin at the number 9 spot in the order has been great. And then you've mixed in some other players down there. Ramon Laureano is overqualified to be a 7th hitter in a batting order, but it's good problems to have. And I think the length of the lineup is really starting to pay dividends early on here. You're starting to see this team gel with all the new faces. And as Chris said, the other night when they had the lead, I think a lot of people flipped over to see what the Dodgers and Angels were doing because as soon as the Padres went up 4-1, you're like, oh, this game's probably over with the bullpen that they have. So everything's working on so far. But as Chris mentioned, we still got a handful of weeks to go.
Woods, just your general thoughts here of this 5-game winning streak and what you're seeing from the team.
A lot of fun, man. And I think, last weekend, losing, just getting bodied by the Red Sox and then coming back to win those next 2 were the kind of turning points for me. I expected to beat the Giants. I did. There's a bit of phoning it in on their part, as you could see if you watch that series in San Francisco. But to come back and win Saturday and win Sunday against the Boston Red Sox was when I went. I've thought it at points this season, but it was the time when I went, oh, okay. Dylan Cease realizes he's not going to be traded, goes out and throws up a dominant game. And the bullpen was nasty and the, clutch hitting and good defense. I thought it was really, I don't want to say a turning point, but a part for me where I went, now that's legit. That's a legit squad.
Paulie, it's been suggested that not only the lengthening of the lineup, but getting more production at the bottom, as Braden said, that's key, but taking the pressure off of everybody. Are you seeing that kind of trickle down effect that everyone seems better just by not feeling like they have those big gaps in their lineup now?
Even the insanely hot start to the season, I'd have to go back and look. I feel like there were a lot of those games where they won, but it was high stress, high leverage, as high leverage as the first week games can be. Whereas we didn't have a lot of opportunities where you could like not have to use any of your high leverage guys and then go another game and not have to use any of them and then get a day off and get guys like Mason Miller 3 consecutive days of rest heading into a big weekend. That just hasn't been an option. Every single win, it felt like, for the most part, through the first 110 games, it felt like a playoff game. You were losing, you were pulling your hair out because it was 1-0, 2-1. These close ball games. It came down to the pitching, and we have been saying time and time again, this bullpen can't do that all year long. Yeah, it's fun to envision a playoff scenario where you can just hand it over to your bullpen in the 4th inning, but we had to get there first of all, and they still do. But you're like, are these guys' arms going to fall off by the time we even get to October, and it's all for nothing?
Matt, as I go to you, I want to bring up a stat Sam Levitt had on our show today, and Padres are currently on a 14-3 stretch. This is actually their second 14-3 stretch of the season. They also started 14-3 in their first 17 games, and I think one similarity is if you remember in those games, they were actually getting production at the bottom of the order. It wasn't sustainable. Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz were both hitting like 250, 300 back at the time. And when the Padres got that production at the bottom of the order, they were a very formidable team. But now it feels like you can expect it to continue, as opposed to then when we were all kind of waiting for those guys to go back to being who they had always been in their career.
Exactly. I mean, the bottom of the order is the spot where we've been complaining about all year, which included the catcher. And I think getting Freddie Fermin may have been one of the more, maybe not the star-studded trade of the trade deadline, but getting him has changed his team because he's able to hit home runs, as we saw. He's able to get on base, and it changes everything. Now a pitcher has to worry about every single spot in the lineup. And if it's not like they get to 7, 8, 9 now and they're like, all right, here's my 3 outs. I'm going to get up, get down. But the bottom of the lineup is producing, and from 1 through 9, I truly think each guy is contributing in a big way.
We're going to talk a little psychology today here on the Roundtable. Again, it's our 97.3 The Fan Padres Roundtable, presented commercial-free by San Diego Roundtable Pizza. It really is pizza royalty, both team psychology and fan psychology, because it's been a big topic for us this week. Okay, here the Padres are in first place this late in the season. This is what we always wanted. But, like, Braden, how excited are you letting yourself get at this point as a Padres fan, and how optimistic should we be about their chances now to finally bring a championship to San Diego?
I think you should be very optimistic and very fired up about this team. I think they do a lot of things right. I think they take care of the little things now with the new additions that they have. I think they've eliminated most of the problems that they have had for the majority of the season. And I think right now is the time to strike. I think Tom Krasovic put out a column the other day about this being the time to strike for the Padres, and he goes through the National League. I mean, the Diamondbacks had a regression year. The Giants haven't been very good. The Dodgers have continued to, really struggle for now the majority part of the summer. And you look at the rest of the National League, aside from maybe the Brewers and the Phillies, who, by the way, you've taken 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, and you've split the series with Philadelphia. There's a lot of great opportunities for the Padres to make a run in the postseason. On top of that, when you think about the Padres in the World Series, right, it's 1984 and 1998. They ran into 2 juggernaut teams from the American League. There are no juggernaut teams in the American League right now that you would sit there and be like, this is the greatest X team ever assembled. This is the greatest Yankees team ever assembled. This is the greatest Tigers team ever assembled. So I think the stars are starting to align a little bit, but obviously, as Padres fans, as San Diego sports fans, you never want to get too ahead of yourself because there have been some things that have gone wrong in the past. But out of all the chances the Padres have had to potentially make a run and win a World Series, this is probably one of their better chances.
Woods, you're kind of an enigma to me when it comes to this, because you're always willing to celebrate and be excited about things, but you also love the Winston Wolfe Pulp Fiction quote that you can't repeat on the airwaves about celebrating too early before the job is done. Yeah. So, like, where should we be here as fans in terms of our excitement level for this team?
Man, I think, I look at my 7-year-old and how excited he is, how excited his friends are, bold proclamations from them. And I think, I also see the other side. I spend a lot of time online. I'm constantly online, so I see a lot of it. waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I think it's fair. I do. I think any way you want a fan is fine by me. I don't subscribe really. I don't subscribe to the. It makes me sick to see some of the bold proclamations that I've seen, mostly out of Dodgers Twitter a couple of months ago. And I understand. I mean, they've had a really nice, dominant run in the West, but to see the division's wrapped up and it's like June, and man, that's very bold, and that could come back to bite you. But I think if you want to wave a rally towel at the game, if you want to I draw the line at making a rap video. Anything other than that, I'm
No
or
songs.
or that no songs or anything. Anything other than that, man, do what you want to do. I get excited about the win. I do. I get very excited about the win, but then it goes away because I know there's 41 games to go, and I'm like, okay, great. Now turn the page. It's such a big series this weekend, but it can't be the be-all, end-all series. It just can't be. It can't be like, oh, my God, the Dodgers, they're a beatable team. You just go beat them.
Matt, for me, I think it's always, you can be excited without getting cocky or arrogant.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to be cocky.
I mean, he can't do it.
Well, there's no reason.
He cannot get excited without being
There's
cocky or arrogant.
zero reason to be cocky or arrogant about the San Diego Padres. There's every reason in the world to be optimistic and excited, because I look at baseball right now, as Braden said, I don't see any team that the Padres can't beat.
Correct.
I don't see any team that goes, the Padres could probably make a deep run in the playoffs, but let's be honest here,
This
division
is
series is the
Phillies
cap
year,
this
right?
There's no
Put it this
cap.
way: if you had to guess, does the champ come out of the AL or the NL? I think the NL as well.
Well, we all think the
I mean,
NL,
it's a
so that
short
means it'll be
series.
the AL.
The AL is lucky because they're guaranteed at least one team in the World Series this year, so they'll have a chance in a best-of-7 series. But to me, Matt, I think excitement is more than justified for the Padres fan base right now.
Yes, everybody enjoy this. These are some of the moments that you're going to talk about years from now of how exciting it was when they took back for first place in the National League West. I am so excited about this team. My cousin is getting married on October 24th, which coincides with World Series game number 1. I notified her I will not be there if the Padres are in the World Series because I am that confident in the Padres making a deep run. This is exciting. People just enjoy it.
He just killed us right there.
I was gonna say, don't book any flights or anything like that to any American League cities.
Please don't.
Let's just hang on.
Paul, you're both measured and excited at the same time. I think you're like all of us, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're conditioned to feel certain ways and just kind of know that the inevitable is coming. And I was thinking about it the afternoon of the trade deadline. Actually, I go, these SOBs. It's the third time in the last couple of years now where I can feel my hopes starting to go up. And it didn't work out well the first 2 times. So I have reason to believe it won't work out the third time. And I'm not going there. I'm not dooming yet. But I thought after the 2022 trade deadline, getting Juan Soto, thinking you were getting Fernando Tatis Jr. back, I go, well, this is going to be the greatest team ever. Wait, who can beat this team? Didn't work out. Thought towards the end of last year, I was like, the Padres are probably the best team in baseball. They should go on and at least get to the World Series. Didn't happen again. I started feeling the same way after looking at the completed roster without having seen them even play one game yet with the new roster. And they've played so well. And I've started to let myself begin to go there and be like, man, this could be something special, but it's baseball, man. It's so hard. It is so hard to know.
Chris, it's kind of weird. Saris was telling us this morning, the playoffs are always the great equalizer because they're so unpredictable in baseball in a short series. And normally that's where we always rested our hopes. Yeah, hey, if you can just sneak in as a wild card, anything can happen in the playoffs. Now you have a team and you're going, I kind of hope that not anything can happen in the playoffs. I hope sometimes that just the best team can go on and win because the Padres are looking a lot closer to being the best team than they are to the one that sneaks into the playoffs and hopes for a miracle.
A few things. I said yesterday you don't get any trophies and nobody remembers you being in first place on the afternoon of August 13th. So we do have to keep that in perspective. On the other side, waiting for the other shoe to drop is no way to do it. Don't do that. Go all in on this team. This team is worth going all in on. At the end of the day, give it your best shot. The Cubs could never win it. The Red Sox could never win it. Hundreds of years. We're 50 plus. There are hundreds of years. You go to other, sports. Teams get to the big game, but they'll never win it until they win it. So maybe this is the year. We don't know. But why not go all in? This team certainly seems worthy of us going all in on. I feel like we could beat the Dodgers by 5 or 6 games if we keep playing well, because they're hurting right now. They're taking on water. I want to make sure we pass the Phillies, because I do want one of those first buys. I'm not worried about, what if we have to rest for 4 days? I just think this team's good enough to overcome all that, and I'm going to believe in it like that.
All right, that's a little bit of the fan psychology. Now let's talk a little bit about the team psychology. After the game yesterday, and, this could have been a bit of a throwaway quote that you're just given to a reporter after the game. Fernando Tatis Jr. said, "It's in our hands now. It's just how much we want it." So, Matt, let me ask you, how much do you think desire is a factor, especially in baseball compared to other sports? Like, can you just want it enough that you can hold on to a lead because you tried so hard down the stretch? Or is that not really the attitude that this team should think about going down these last month and a half of the season?
I'll take whatever motivates them. And if that's what motivates them is that we got to get this done, then go for it. Because it's the baseball season is so long. These guys, for the most part, are just kind of in cruise control for some part of the year. But now it's time to turn it up. And I love that Fernando said that, because that's what the team is thinking. Like, we have to take advantage of this right now. And the destiny is in their hands. And so motivation and things like that, I think, play a part. But you also have to have a good team with good players. But I think motivation on a good team with good players can go a really long way.
Woods, as I was saying during our show today, I don't want them to feel like they need to try harder going down the stretch. What they're doing right now is working. So just keep going. You play smart baseball. You didn't see everyone with their hair on fire when it was 10-1 in the game yesterday, and he hit a ground ball. It's fine. You're out. Let's keep moving on. Let's be smart the rest of the way. That's kind of what I'm looking for. It's not, to me, a matter of desire. It's not football where, if you just have a little left, you can, fight your way through a little more pain, and, one more tackler, maybe your will can carry you to a title. Baseball's a different sport.
It is, but I think, it comes down to also preparation. Can you prepare a little bit better? Can you prepare a little bit harder? Can you take a little bit better care of your body? Can you make one more right decision? Things like that, to where, they love to make a big deal out of things about, like, Mookie was struggling last year in the playoffs, and they made a huge deal how he locked himself in the cage and hit 200 baseballs. Well, the next game, what happens? Mookie Betts came out and started hitting the baseball again. Some guys that doesn't work for. There's some guys that are like, bro, I need less swings right now. I'm exhausted. My back hurts. Like, I need to do less. Those guys, Shildt trusts them to know what they need to do. But I think when Fernando's talking about that, the collective group is all on the same page. And yes, that's like the goal. The brass ring is there in front of them. And I think wanting the brass ring holds a more of a philosophical question than we're going to try really hard and we're going to squeeze the bat really tight. We're going to overthrow. I think that's what you worry about with little leaguers. You don't worry about it with pros.
You're right. But Paulie, I think Woods makes a good point. Do you see that the Padres having gotten close the last couple of years?
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah.
And knowing that, they have another chance here, that they take these seriously, because,
Yeah, I think it happens. I don't want to say all the time, but I do think if you go back through teams that won championships, like what happened the year before that, or even 2 years before that. Like, I hope as we're coming down the stretch here, like, I think about the image of Game 5 NLDS last year. Game's over. Dodgers celebrating. Who's sitting on the bench? It was Jackson Merrill.
Yep.
He's just sitting there. I think maybe Bogarts had his arm around him at one point, but I remember the picture and the video of Jackson Merrill just sitting there, soaking it in. Rookie. Watching that celebration on their home field. And I remember hoping in that moment, don't forget how this feels. Remember this next year and beyond. Use it however you need to use it. And I hope, with the continuity on the roster, we didn't lose a whole lot of guys from the roster that they had in the playoffs last year. So I hope a lot of those guys have that same feeling. And you don't have to use it to push too hard, because I do think I agree with you, Ben. Like, there's a point where you can want it and want it and want it, and then there's a point where you're pressing and it's too much, and you need to like peel it back and relax. So I hope those guys, they remember that feeling of last year, thinking, you know what, we think we were the better team and we got beat. And then that team went on to win the World Series. I hope it hurt. I hope it stung. And I hope it fuels them for this October.
You know, Manny sat down with us at spring training in 2023. And like, Manny's kind of a tough interview sometimes because you have to pull stuff out of him. And I'll never forget the moment. He like grabbed the mic and basically was like, look, let me start with the fact that we are mortified and embarrassed about how last year ended. It sucked. We don't want that to happen again. Didn't have the best ending last year, but I was pretty inspired by that baseball team most of the season, as I have been by this baseball team. And, you know, I think with the leadership that the Padres have, the guys that have obviously been there before, you hope that some of that factors into, you know, getting through these last 41 games. But you're seeing, you know, as of recently when you're playing well, you're seeing Jackson clench his jaw a little less. You're seeing a few more smiles from Fernando, all those things that everyone loves to really pick on and look for. Just continue to have fun being with your brothers, playing baseball as hard as you can. And they've done that.
They got so many resources too. I was thinking about like some of the new acquisitions that you got, like Nestor Cortes. I know he got lit up last year in the World Series. That can still be a good thing.
He was in the World Series.
He was in the World Series. Can you imagine Michael King in a big October game? Maybe some nerves. I don't know about Michael King, but I'm just throwing him out there as somebody that doesn't have a ton of that playoff experience. I'm like, that's a guy that Nestor Cortes, who may not even be on the roster, the playoff roster, but can still lend an ear and be like, hey man, like I overhyped myself. I got in my dome. It didn't work. You know, whatever went wrong for him last October, that's something now that can be, that was a negative that can be used as positive.
I think Paul's onto something, because I said last year, and this was about the Lions when they lost in the playoffs, but teams need failure to get to that place where they can win a championship. And if you're a team that sticks together and you go through that failure together, you're going to learn from it and you're going to be better. That's why we see teams get to the top a couple times and then they finally win it, because they are able to get over that hump and they have the experience.
I was just going to bring that up, and I was going to ask Chris because he might have more specific examples, but it does feel like sometimes a team comes out of nowhere and wins a championship, but for the most part, there's an arc. There's the rise where you go through some struggles and then you finally get to the postseason and you're happy to be there and you're eliminated, but you get some experience. And then you go through a run, but there's probably a heartbreak at some point where you get a lot closer, but the brass ring is taken out of your hand. And finally, after you've gone through those, you're ready to win a title. And, you know, I don't know if you feel that way, but do you feel like this Padres team psychologically might be ready to win a title this year?
The only team I can think of in recent vintage that hasn't had to lose a few and to win championships are the teams managed by Bruce Bochy.
Yeah.
The Giants won 3. I don't think they lost any.
Yeah.
Texas came out of nowhere. They won. You know, I'm a little historical perspective to this question. I don't know if you've ever watched that show called America's Game on the NFL Network, where they go through all the Super Bowl champions and they interview players from those teams. I've never watched an episode where one of the players interviewed hasn't said, we remembered the pain of losing last year. That motivated us this time. Our Super Bowl run started when we walked off the field having lost the year before. So I think it's very real. And I think the Padres have been through enough pain. All of us went through it for the last 2 games last season, you know, to help. I think it is a real thing.
And I agree with Woods when you say motivated, it's not necessarily to run half a meter faster.
Right.
It's to prepare yourself. It's to do the little things to get yourself ready to win.
Yeah, that's why Jackson Merrill watched. Make no mistake.
100%.
That's exactly why he watched last year.
And I think, you know, there's a tendency when things are going well, and you know this as a radio host too, when things are going really well, you're like, well, I don't have to go the extra mile. We're cruising. Everything's great. But I think, you know, what separates the good from the mediocre is the one that says, this is when I actually have to probably do a little bit more and should be a little bit more prepared or whatever. And I don't think it's any different in any walk of life. Sales, recruiting, baseball, football, basketball, I think, the people that are willing to put in the extra are the ones that are going to come out on top. And, I can't even imagine. I wrap my head around the work that these guys put in from the offseason through spring training, the minutia of baseball, sometimes the heat and the travel and all the hotels and the bad food, and to get that far and lose and be like, this was a really good chance we had. The Dodgers were decimated and we just stopped hitting. It's got to stick in their craw, but you can't let it become the ghost that hovers over you.
It is a really good point because it's human nature. If you've had success, you don't want to mess with it. I don't want to do anything different. I don't want to do anything different or extra. It's never a bad idea, though, to be more prepared, put in more work. So don't get complacent. The Padres don't look complacent. Brady, do you think psychologically this team is ready to take that last step perhaps this year?
Yeah, because I think they're focused. I think they brought in some guys that are laser focused too. I was down there for Ramon Laureano's introductory kind of scrum, and that guy was locked in and serious. I mean, he was a no nonsense kind of individual, was the vibes that I got from him. And I think a lot of the players that they brought in understand what's at stake, and they have bought into what the Padres have established as what they expect and what they want to do this year. I think you've seen a lot of maturity out of Manny Machado over the last handful of years. I think he's in a really good spot. I think for everything that's been going on with Fernando off the field, I think he's been able to still put together a season that he might not like in terms of overall production, but still a good productive season. And you look at some of the players that they have. I mean, they got veteran guys that have been there and done that before. I mean, they even have players that aren't playing right now, like Joe Musgrove, that's been in the World Series before with a former team. Xander Bogaerts has been in 2 World Series. We mentioned Nestor Cortez, and I'm sure there's more. Yu Darvish has been in a World Series. So I think that experience goes a long way. I think Mike Shildt does a good job of getting the most out of his players and getting them to give max effort. And, we've seen a little bit of a different deal with these guys compared to what Bob Melvin did with these guys. And I think overall, everything working together is a big reason why they're going to be ready to win psychologically throughout the playoffs.
All right. Middle of our 97.3 The Fan Padres Roundtable, presented commercial free by San Diego Roundtable Pizza. It really is pizza royalty. It's back. It's been a while since we've had a draft. You all remember the rules? You can't pick someone who's already been taken. I will lay out the question. The order of the draft is simply geographical. Matt Skraby right on down the line. And here's the question for our roundtable draft. Padres have won 14 of 17, including 5 of those before the trade deadline actually hit. So, Matt Skraby, who's the MVP of this recent run for the San Diego Padres?
Gosh, you put me on the spot, and I'm forgetting everybody who plays.
You got everyone to choose from, though. So you can't be wrong,
everybody
right?
to choose from, and I'm forgetting
Tyler
all about
Wade.
it. No, Tyler Wade. He's the MVP.
That might be a bad answer.
He's the MVP in spirit. I'm just gonna say the answer that first came to mind. And I know that some of those games were done before the trade deadline, but I do think Ramon Laureano has helped this team a ton.
Good answer.
And left field is, you got your left fielder now. And he's a gamer, as Braden said. He's a serious guy. He wants to win. I think his addition has taken them up a little bit, so I'll take him.
All right, I picked this question because I think there are a lot of good answers and valid answers to this question. Last 17 games, Woods, who's the Padres MVP?
I think Xander Bogaerts is a couple of big home runs. And just a kind of calming down for Xander, honestly, was much maligned. And I think for good reason for a lot of his Padres career, but to just settle in and to be, I know there's been a couple of defensive miscues, which have been uncharacteristic of Xander this year. But all in all, just a calmness to him, a joy. I'm seeing a lot of joy from him, and I think a steadying force at shortstop for the San Diego Padres, and finally realizing, some of the potential that we saw has gone a long way in these 17.
Paulie,
I don't know his numbers in the last 17 games.
It feels right to me.
Big home runs.
Yeah. Feels right to me. All right, Paulie?
Can I say AJ Preller?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. No, I won't. That's too easy. I think he should be one for everybody, honestly. And then it's who's next. I'll break the mold a little bit. I'll go Dylan Cease.
Ooh.
He has turned things around overall lately. He has looked much better, much more comfortable, and much more like the Dylan Cease that we come to expect now. Anytime he gets the ball, if it's a big game, like there's nerves. I don't know if it's PTSD from last October or whatever. He had a really weird first half of this year where he would look dominant for like 3 to 4 innings, and then it would unravel fast. I mean, go to the bathroom, go grab some water or something. You come back to your television, and we're down 4 already. It's crazy. He is looked like he started to lock in, flip a different gear, whatever you want to call it. He has looked so much better. And that was a huge question mark that we all had for weeks leading up to the trade deadline. What do you do with Dylan Cease? They chose to keep him. And as of right now, it looks like that was a good choice.
I was strongly considering taking Dylan Cease if he was still on the board, but he goes at number 3, which leaves our 4th selection now to Braden.
I think Freddie Fermin's been huge for these guys. I was thinking about Dylan Cease and Xander Bogaerts and Ramon Laureano, just in case nobody picked Freddie Fermin. And to me, him being at the number 9 spot in the order and contributing offensively way more than what the 9 spot had been contributing has been a godsend. I think the way that he has handled the pitching staff. I mean, Yu Darvish the other night pitched really well. Yep. And the whole thing with Yu Darvish was he needed his own personal catcher, Victor Caratini, when he came over for the first time. And he had to find the guy that could catch him because of all the pitches that he throws and all the variations of fastballs and variations of sliders. You go down the list. And the first time Freddie Fermin ever catches this guy in bullpens and anything was that Tuesday night or Monday night, whatever it was. He did a great job. So I think the way he receives, as Mike Shildt has mentioned, that's a big thing for him. He's done a great job filling in there. He's done a great job throwing runners out. He's done a great job offensively. To me, he's been the MVP. And for Xander Bogaerts, as you mentioned, he's been the 6th best player in Major League Baseball since June 19th. Yeah. According to Fangraphs WAR. So you got a lot of guys making some contributions.
We talked for so many roundtables about how they don't even need a star at catcher and left field, just someone serviceable who can do a minor improvement. They've ended up with 2 guys who, at least in the last 2 weeks, have been absolute stars in Laureano and Fermin. So they have both been MVPs. Chris, who's your selection?
Speaking of those guys, the most surprising statistic of the week was that Fernando had 3 RBIs in the game yesterday. That means there were 3 guys on base from the bottom of the order. I honestly think my top 5 were all selected. I was going to
4 picks,
but he mentioned he mentioned AJ Preller, who I was going to go with.
I also mention Mike Shildt. Who else can I steal?
You're going to use them all. I'm left with Jackson Merrill. Because what I liked was the win Monday night in San Francisco. That was a 1-0 game if there ever was one, and he broke it with the base hit and broke the seal on Logan Webb. I think Merrill's his attitude towards baseball and understanding the game is different from almost any young player I've seen come up. And I think that he represents all that's good about the Padres. I also want to give a shout out because I think this is a underrated part of why they've been successful. Gavin Sheets has taken his demotion, gone over to the bench, been the first guy off the bench to congratulate everybody who does something, and when given the chance, had a couple of 2-hit games. Mike Shildt even shouted him out and said, what we had to do with Gavin Sheets was not easy. His accepting of this role is a true measure, I think, of what this team's about.
Jackson Merrill's impact on this team, outsized for his age and even his production, just what he does in terms of kind of setting the tone. Very unusual for a 22-year-old. That leaves me with the 6th pick, always the toughest slot to go, but I will just go logically. 17 games. One guy has reached base in all 17 of those games. One guy has been in the bottom third of the order, the only one for all 17 of those games that has been the most important part of this lineup. And he rarely gets spoken about by San Diego Padres fans. That is Jake Cronenworth, who has a .453 on-base percentage during his 17-game on-base streak. He's come up with some big hits as well over that stretch. He's hitting over 300. He's quietly having a really excellent season. He's playing, defense at a strong level. He'll move around wherever they need him to go. Jake Cronenworth has done a really good job quietly these last 17 games. Now, I think it's interesting that no one mentioned either Manny Machado or Fernando Tatis Jr. And I wanted to bring this up because I've listened to Chris a couple of times on rants on the Gwynn and Chris program about how could Fernando Tatis Jr. have such a much higher WAR than Manny Machado? Manny Machado's got to be the most valuable player for the Padres, not Fernando Tatis Jr. So I want to turn to, we know your answer is Manny Machado, but I want to turn it over to everybody else to debate, like who brings more to this team, Fernando or Manny? Because Chris has gone out on the Manny limb because he doesn't really like the WAR statistic.
Who do you love more, Jack or Graham?
I know it's tough.
Kids like. That it's a very loaded
You really
question.
think it's a close contest
No,
this year between the two of them?
No,
this year.
I think Manny's been the most consistent player we've had. Weird, defensive stuff with Manny this year. But
the defensive metrics don't like Manny.
They
don't love Fernando.
Exactly. But again, if it's game 7, there's no one. And I mean no one I want at third base more than that guy. Not a soul on the planet. You can tell me, Brian Hayes has better range, or he is the only guy I want to make the short hop play or the funky tag, or is he going to dive into the hole like he used to? Probably not. But he is the guy I want at third base in a game 7 that I feel massively comfortable with. So, and same goes, for Fernando in right field. The catch he made yesterday was staggeringly great, but I think it's Manny.
They've both been very valuable, but I almost called into your show, Chris, which I really wouldn't have done.
Please do.
I feel like it would have been embarrassing.
Skraby would have never seen the call come in. But,
but
wow.
you rail
More
against
shots.
the WAR statistic, and I know it's imperfect, and I know you can't really quantify defense, which Fernando's has been amazing. He made another unbelievable play yesterday in the series finale against the Giants. I wanted to throw this because I read this on our show as well. Here's a statistic that you can't deny is important in baseball: runs scored. That's the name of the game, is scoring runs. And if you look now, it used to be back in the day, we talked about like Brett Butler would score a ton of runs because he'd get on and someone would homer him in. But nowadays, you put your best hitters at the top. The leaders in runs scored in Major League Baseball, top 10. They're all superstars. Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr., Ellie De La Cruz, Kyle Schwarber, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Julio Rodriguez, Francisco Lindor, Cal Raleigh, Corbin Carroll, Kyle Tucker. Fernando's third on that list. Nothing but superstars. Does that not tell you how important and how valuable he's been for the San Diego Padres this season? Because what he's been doing, that's where you put your superstars at the top of the lineup.
He's a superstar. He's not better than Manny Machado.
Why do you hate Fernando Tatis?
There you go.
You hate him. Why do you hate him?
Why do you hate him?
That's what.
Can I answer? I think with Fernando, you don't get the questions about body language with Manny. You don't really get. He's Manny. Manny is Manny. Fernando is a bit more mercurial, right? If he's hot, if he's happy, you'll know it. If he's down, you'll know it. Manny is 4 for 4, he looks the same. If he's 0 for 4, he looks the same. People get mad when he's 0 for 8 and blows a bubble, right? But he doesn't care. Fernando wears it. He wears it on his sleeve. And he's a different type of player, both massively valuable to this team. Wouldn't be anywhere near where we are without either or both of them. But, it's not a bad point you make, Benny, for Fernando Tatis Jr. being more valuable, but this is literally like picking my favorite child.
It's impossible to really decide. They're both incredibly valuable. I want to make the point, and if Braden or Matt or anyone wants to say anything else, I just feel like I keep hearing from fans, what's wrong with Fernando?
Yeah,
what's
he's
wrong
a top
with Fernando?
5 WAR player, I think.
And I think the answer really is nothing. It may look a little different because he's not hitting as many home runs, but his actual value and contribution to the team is as sky high as it always is. Maybe in a slightly different way, but the team is winning. He is scoring runs at the top of the lineup. let's stop complaining about it and just enjoy what he's doing. Anyone else?
Yeah, well, I mean, Fernando's your best athlete, and to me, Manny is. We're talking
Best
about
baseball player.
Value. He is the best baseball player. I think he's more valuable from the sense of when the Padres get into a losing streak, who gets him out of it?
Yep.
It's Manny. I mean, when the entire team's not hitting, who's the one that's starting to hit?
Manny.
It's Manny. I mean, that's just based on maybe some recency bias and some track record. But I felt like this year, when they first started to struggle and they started losing players, the one that was almost single-handedly carrying them, and I'm talking about when they were playing the Astros and the Tigers, like early on, right? Arise is out, and they got some other guys out. Merrill's out. Manny put the team on his back, and he shines in those moments. Now, does Manny always come up with the clutch hit at the end of the game? No. I mean, we've seen him strike out a lot of times near big high leverage situation and stuff like that. But he gets you to where you want to be more times than not. Where he goes is where the team goes. Fernando's, up and down, like Wood said, but to me, Fernando's your best athlete, and Manny is, in fact, your best baseball player.
I think you look to Manny when the team is slumping and you see someone who's calm and collected.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no one looks at Fernando, but Manny's the leader of this team. His temperament and his disposition is what is telling these other guys, like, hey, everything's cool. Everything's all right.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Fernando, on the other hand, there are, like you said, he wears his emotions on his sleeves. No one's going to the guy who's wearing his emotions on his sleeves for comfort. They're going to the guy who seems like everything's okay.
Like Manny would never say, yeah, when I get in the batter's box, I'm up there facing my demons. That was a very telling quote from Fernando, but I love that about him because he's not afraid to tell you how he feels. Manny's like, hey, Manny, you're 0 for 30. That's baseball. Hey, man, it's just playing baseball. Look at the back of my baseball card. It'll be there. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of the paternal figure that you need sometimes when you have a team of some young players as well. And I've always loved that about Manny. Imagine being so confident when you're great and so confident when you're not great. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think it comes with he's got way more experience too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how old's Fernando? 26, right? He's 26. I mean, Manny Machado when he was 26 was a lot different than he is at 32, right?
No question.
What he was like in Baltimore, wearing emotions on his sleeve,
Correct.
Always in the center of attention.
Very much Fernando-esque.
Right, very much Fernando-esque, and now he has matured into the sense of being that veteran kind of presence.
Yep.
And I think the experience is definitely the reason why also Manny was more valuable if you had to pick.
What a
Fernando
great mentor, by the way, Fernando is going to get to that point where Manny's at now,
Yeah.
and he's still going to be a Padre, and we're going to have that. I mean, we don't know, but you would expect to have that more mature, calm, like it's just going to pass the baton from Manny to Fernando.
I agree with you. I was going to bring that up, that Fernando's like kind of a manager, or not a manager, but like a team leader in training right now. And he's already made steps in growth this year by saying, hey, I'm going to take the walk. Instead of swinging out of my shoes for the home run, I'm fine with the walk. I know it's not going to get me a ton of headlines, but it's helping my team. I've seen a massive growth in Fernando this year.
Him saying the other day, I'm tired of getting thrown at up and in, but I'm not going to charge the mound. My team needs me. Right? I'm not going to go out there and risk something when my team.
He said he was kind of worried what he might do when he got out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen that guy mad.
Let's add that into the mix too.
Exactly.
I think he's nervous that he might do something.
I'm afraid of what I'll do, and he gets. I see a lot of fan bases. They call him soft and they call him whatever. Fine, it doesn't matter. You would kill to have that guy on your team patrolling right field. I don't care who you are. But that to me spoke of the maturity that he's already starting to get.
All right, 7th inning stretch time. It's our San Diego Padres Roundtable brought to you by Roundtable Pizza. It really is pizza royalty. And we know there's going to be some very stressful baseball in our future, near and far, hopefully, in October. So everyone needs to laugh a little bit. Today's 7th inning stretch non-baseball question. Who is your all-time favorite comedian and why?
Love it.
I'll just jump in.
Acting, stand-up comedy.
Yeah, whatever. You can be
stand-up comedy.
An actor. I think stand-up comedy for comedian, but you do you. And I'm going to go first because and you can take my answer as well. It would shock people.
Bill Cosby.
No, you know me, Woods. My humor is very dry and dark. And even though I never say any of his 7 words, I think George Carlin is the funniest human being maybe who's ever lived.
Yep.
Chris does too.
You a George Carlin person as well?
He's not only the funniest, he's one of the smartest who ever lived.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the combination of smart, funny, dark, it always appeals to me. Braden?
That's my answer.
Well, I've seen Jeff Dye so many times that Jeff Dye is probably on my list, and he's more of a recent guy, obviously. So for me, I'd probably go with Jeff Dye. I've seen him at the Comedy Store multiple times, which if anybody's never been to the Comedy Store, that place is super cool in La Jolla. I had a good time when I went there for Jeff Dye the last time. So, probably Jeff Dye. He's probably the funniest to me.
I've seen Woods on stage at the Comedy Store.
That's true. I've done some sets there.
Is he funny?
Yeah, he was.
Nerve-wracking.
That is.
It is the worst. It's the worst experience.
That might be one of the toughest jobs in the whole world, right there.
Without saying, man, I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I have never been as nervous as I was before I had to go up and do 10 minutes at the Comedy Store. I was visibly shaking. Like but when you get done and you hear some laughs, it's also the biggest high that you've ever gotten. And you can see why a lot of those guys are very dark and they want to chase that high all night, because all I wanted to do when I was done was pound booze. And I was like, I've got a morning show in the morning. I've got to get out of here, because you're on what's above cloud 9? You're on cloud 12. You're like, this is fun. What a feeling to go out and do well.
Speaking of great comedians, I mean, Seinfeld always brought up the point that statistics and studies show that the thing people are most scared of all is public speaking.
Yes.
Second is dying. And as Seinfeld used to point out, that means that at the funeral, you'd rather be in the casket than speaking and giving the eulogy.
So true.
But if you're going to go with doing stand-up comedy, you're not just speaking. You have to come up with something that entertains people.
Yes, it's just
so
insane.
difficult.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Paul, a younger perspective here?
Yeah, I mean, I would still all time. I think nobody has done it better than Eddie Murphy. Just, I mean, unbelievable. Some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard in my life. It's kind of wild, like what was acceptable in the 80s and what would not. If you have never heard Eddie Murphy, if you think of Eddie Murphy from like Shrek, don't go back and watch his stand-ups from the 80s. Don't do it. But he was just on another level, I think. And then currently, though, the best in the business right now, I think, for me, is Bill Burr. The way he tells a story, the relatableness to it, whether it's his wife, kids, whatever, like, he is so funny. He gets me laughing so hard.
Matt Skraby?
I'm not much of a comedy guy. I don't go to comedy shows a lot, but I should go to more because I think they're fun. So I'm going to say someone old and off the beaten path, but he's really funny because you don't expect Danny Tanner or Bob Saget to be hilarious.
Dirty.
Like, how did he get cast on Full House with that comedy out there? I don't know.
There's a few guys that fall into that category.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, he's like the sweetest actor of all time, and his stand-up was just
dirty.
ridiculous.
But Bob Saget delivers it in such a way that it's hilarious, and you're like, you're Danny Tanner. You're not supposed to say these things. So I'll go with him.
I also have to go an honorable mention because no one brought him up to Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah, so uncomfortable. The guy that made me fall in love with comedy, and my dad turned me on to so much good stuff when I was a kid. But the man that sold me, there were two. It was Rodney Dangerfield and Richard Pryor. And to this day, I don't know. I'll just have the fondest memories of driving around with my dad listening to. They had tapes. You get them at Columbia House Records, and I would listen to the Rodney Dangerfield tape over and over. And it was all about delivery, self-deprecation, delivery. I mean, I love that man so much. He was so dark, so twisted, so clouded. But like, to have him on stage, he was just on every single time. I always loved him, and Pryor is for me the GOAT.
All right, only a couple minutes left here on 97.3 The Fan Padres Roundtable, presented by San Diego Roundtable Pizza. It really is pizza royalty. So a very simple question to end it. Padres play 6 of their next 10 against the Dodgers. How many games will they win of those 6? And give me a couple of quick reasons why. And Braden, you get your mic up, so you get to go first.
I think they win 4. 4. I think they take 2 out of 3 to get another game lead. I think they take 2 out of 3 again here in San Diego. I think they're getting the Dodgers at the right time. I think Padres are hitting their peak right as the Dodgers can't seem to get any type of luck. Take advantage of it the next 2 weeks.
Matt?
I said 4 last night for similar reasons. They're catching the Dodgers at the right time, and they're playing good baseball. So I think they take 4 out of 6, and I don't think that's a homer take.
We all take 4 right now. Sign up for it.
Oh God!
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Kidding me? You go high, you go up to 4. You're good.
Oh God! In a heartbeat.
4? Is that your answer?
No, I'm taking 3 and 3 because that's what I do. I don't know 500.
You always you like to under.
He's not going to.
You like to set expectations a little bit lower.
I still have us at 81 and 81 this season, just so you know. So.
I thought about playing the same.
They're going to have to work hard to get there.
I know.
I thought about playing the same like reverse psychology.
Yes.
Like, I mean, this team's going to be lucky to win 2 out of 6 against the Dodgers.
Right.
But no, I mean, yeah, of course you take 4.
In a heartbeat, you sign up for 4.
We're all very reasonable people. Chris, what do you think? What's your number?
Well, first of all, I think the Major League Baseball owes us all an apology. And I've been railing on this all year. I don't know if you wanted to call in about it, but the fact that we are done playing the Dodgers with 5 weeks and 31 games left on the schedule is ridiculous. And it's a shame for all of us for baseball because it would have been a lot more fun that way.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, at least we get the Orioles.
I thought you were going to be upset that they weren't Sunday Night Baseball this weekend.
We got Minnesota Twins at the end of the month.
Right.
Yeah, it really is disappointing. And I know we're not the only division going through that. But I'll just honestly take the 3. I don't really need more. Just keep it status quo.
Yep.
I think we can beat the Dodgers down the stretch. So just stay where we're at.
It's interesting because as the Padres head into this series, I would argue that both teams are kind of in the same boat. The Dodgers need to win 3 of the games because they can't afford to fall any further behind, but they're also trying to bide their time to get their relievers healthy. They need to win 3 because they don't want to start burying themselves 3 or even 5 games behind the Padres. The Padres, meanwhile, need to win 3 games because all they have to do the rest of the way is match the Dodgers win for win. Yep. And if they do that and finish with the same record as the Dodgers over the last 41, they win the division because they're a game up. So both teams kind of their needs coincide over the next 6 games, which leads me to believe we'll probably see them both win 3 and lose 3.
Keep in mind
6.
also, in between the 2 series, while the Padres are hosting the Giants for 4,
Rockies.
the Dodgers go to Colorado.
I'd almost rather play the Giants.
But let me just point out the Dodgers are 7-0, I think, against the Rockies.
They're overdue
this year. So, I'm just something to keep in the back of your mind during this stretch.
And the Giants look dead and buried after this week.
I'm just hoping the Giants can find it in themselves when they play the Dodgers 7 times in September to find a way to win.
Hey, real rivalry.
Real rivalry.
Right.
Some point because they don't look like they were trying very hard the last couple of days, to be sure.
Shout out to Ramos.
All right, well, this is going to be really interesting, guys. Over the last 6 weeks of the regular season into the postseason, a lot of scoreboard watching going on. As Chris said, got to keep an eye on what the Phillies are doing. Padres just a half game back, heading into their series for the 2nd seed now in the National League. Maybe the Brewers are uncatchable, but 2nd seed's just as really good as the 1st, other than that home field advantage. So we'll see what happens, but it should be quite entertaining over the rest of the year. That's it for us. We will be back next Thursday at 10 a.m. for another edition of the Padres Roundtable. For Matt Skraby at the end, say goodbye, Matt.
Goodbye.
Woodsy.
Bye.
Paulie Reindl.
Goodbye.
Braden Sopranich.
See ya.
Chris Ello. Maybe I will call into your show at some point.
Please do.
Always, you're welcome, Ben.
Mike Prosser
Anytime.
on the controls. Adam Klug back in our studio. Thanks for joining us on our San Diego Padres Roundtable, presented by San Diego Roundtable Pizza. It really is pizza royalty. Have a great rest of your day.